Video
Technology
recording
Express
error,
phone.
reconnect.
Everything is good to go. It says we're live across the
It said
interwebs.
reconnect.
So yo, this
I'm
is
gonna
live.
jump off and jump back.
It is. It is live. It's always live. The raw is done live, and then we go back and we edit, get it.
So I could go on Instagram and invite people to watch.
Absolutely.
Why is this doing this? I'm gonna jump off and jump back in and saying reconnect.
Run it. It don't hurt nothing. Yeah. You gonna hit the intro real quick?
There I am looking at my phone being rude.
Mine's being weird too.
Is it? Yeah,
Kick,
they're watching.
yeah, kick me out, crack, so I can jump back in.
Alright, okay. I've never been asked to get kicked out. Let's see. He's been booted.
Jimmy.
It removed him. That's hilarious. It removed him, no problem, and you, it says no.
Yeah, it won't even let me jump out, bro.
Exit out the program.
Now my whole phone is all buggy. Jeez,
That's
oh,
weird.
man.
It let me kick. So I pressed the button for kicking Lestat out, and then it jumps you, and then it won't even let me dump him. Gotta love it. I love technology. You know, it's got a way of messing everything up.
Yeah, my phone is
Oh
all.
yeah, popped out. I just seen it on the screen. Remove Cigar Talk Toronto. Thanks.
Dude, that's what they do.
That's what it is.
But you know, we've had a problem. I've got this issue, and I know that everybody's paranoid and all these random things, but I have had issues with technology every time somebody comes to talk to me. If I'm talking, if I start getting spicy about things, immediately issues.
That's how it goes.
It's understandable. They don't want me to talk about everything.
You know, freedom of speech is not freedom.
That's right. It's definitely not. It comes at a cost to speak freely. Most people are not willing to pay that cost because it is pretty steep.
Sometimes you pay with your life.
But a lot of anybody that you know, the whistleblowers, they typically do.
Yep.
You think it's true? This so there's the numbers. Like it's what is it? 85% of the people are essentially followers. 10% are the leaders / the ones making the plans, and then there's 5% just watching it, the observers, just watching, going like, what are y'all doing, and trying to bring people up. You think that's accurate to society?
I would believe so, yeah. I would have no problem believing that. There's not a lot of, and it's not a knock on people. It's just, it's like that in any animal civilization. You have the workers, you have you know what I mean. You got the queen, you got the king. But it's just the way it is. There's always a hierarchy in every society.
And
think about it though. If everybody was a born leader, you would have a lot more clashing.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, what is it? The too many chiefs, not enough Indians, too many cooks.
Indians, yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with the too many cooks.
That's how it is. But no, you know, some people, it's the character. They're born to lead. Some people are born to innovate. Some people are you know, born to fight. Some people are born to bend over and take it.
See,
That's just the way it is.
Got the first 3 down pretty well. But let's hit this intro. I've been excited to go ahead and try this in app here real quick. Before I do that, I want to see. Nope.
What up, Lefty? Indigo, unique.
Ha! You can't. Even if you can do it, you can't put it live. There we go. Live. Yeah, we shooting the shits. ShadowWorks Entertainment, OwnLane, OWNLN.com. We are bringing it live and direct, and we're going to be talking pretty spicy tonight, I would imagine, because last time we had we had an extended conversation on Cigar Talk Toronto. It got pretty good. It got pretty decent. I feel like you know, Tio will join us here momentarily. We pretty much just, you know, when it comes to shooting the shits, man, it's a matter of being able to find people that are like-minded, moving in the same direction at the same speed. It can be difficult.
Not only that, even if you could be like-minded but view things a bit different, but still be able to have that conversation.
Oh, see, I'm glad I looked at that. Make sure it's not echoing. Yeah, just to make sure everybody out there in La La Land, let me know if it's echoing for you guys. Yeah.
Is there a delay when it comes to doing this when you run a live?
Yeah, there's a slight delay. I think it's like maybe 15 seconds, I think. Like it gives about 15 seconds back.
Because I'm watching on the IG live right now because I was curious about it. I've never done a live feed, so I'm curious. It's something I need to learn about.
It's the live. I mean, I really, you know, I go through OBS and I run it through there. It was something that I just, you know, I like having the interactions where I'm having to be spontaneous, because like something happens every time, no matter what. It's guaranteed. This is the shit show. Welcome to the shit show. It is always, there's guaranteed to be one technical difficulty per show, guaranteed, just for the people.
Yeah. But I just seen Ron and Rich tuned in, Lefty Pacino. They both got albums coming out in June. Shout out to them.
Yeah, for real. Lefty's
Indigo
a fucking
Phoenix
beast.
is on. Shout out Indigo Phoenix, Unique. Yeah, man. We got a nice J Wolf Cigar. Shout out J Wolf Cigars. Let's talk some shit.
Yeah, that's what we do. So, what are you smoking tonight? What's the jam?
I'm smoking. What is this? This is a Victor Sinclair. I've never tried this before. Triple Corojo. It's not bad so far, and I got a cup of Crown Royal.
What's your
Shout out Croatian Mafia Cigars. Even though I'm not smoking your cigar right now, I'm all up. Shout out Croatian Mafia Cigars.
still rocking that merch? So when it comes to the your favorite type of cigars, like what's your go-to?
My go-to would probably be Mafias, Kiki Momos, Escobars, anything AJ Fernandez. Sometimes it comes down to what's available.
Right. Do y'all have any problem getting cigars up there, or specific types?
Certain types, yeah, because there's not a lot of. So the thing is, when you come up to Canada, there's the tax, which we talked about before, right? The 300% tax. There's the plain packaging, which every cigar has to be rebanded to have a. They gotta have like a green band put around this band right here, so everything looks the same and uniform, and that creates extra costs. Yeah, it's just a shit show. So there's a lot of regulations. Bullshit is what it is. Actually, since we're on that topic, let me ask you about this.
Yeah.
So over in the UK, they just passed a generational smoking ban. Meaning, if you're born in, let's just say 2011 and beyond, you can't smoke no tobacco, no nothing for life, right? So now they're talking about doing that in Canada.
That's crazy talk. That is crazy talk. Saying that oh no, we were grandfathered into this. We can do it. We have the freedoms. But if you want to do it, you can't do it. You can do all types of stuff that ruins your body or affects your body for life. You can go ahead and go on hormone replacement when you're 8 years old. But you can't smoke a cigar when you're they put it to 21 in the States, but you can't do other things. You can't sit there and be a race car driver because they were grandfathered into it. That don't make no sense, honestly. Like,
isn't that fucked up? You gotta be 21 to smoke in the States, 21 to drink, but you could be 18 and do full-blown porn and shit, and that's okay.
of course.
Think about that for a second. You can go to war, you can go kill people, but you can't smoke a fucking a naturally grown leaf. That's fucked up.
Well, I mean, if they would make it more natural, I think that would be another thing. Like if they would go ahead and make it more natural, I'd be more supportive of it anyway, because like all the additives is actually the negative part. Like if we could get pure tobacco and actually have that, I think that would be
These are pure tobacco. This is pure tobacco.
Yeah.
There's
No additives?
There's no additives to this. It's all natural, and that's the whole thing where it gets misconstrued with cigarettes, because you get cigarettes and there's so much chemicals and additives to it. And the thing is with cigars, in most cases, it's premium aged tobacco. It's all natural. There's no chemicals, no additives. It's just raw tobacco, and you don't even inhale the shit.
That's oh well, it's mouth cancer. That's the problem. They're really focused on it. They're really worried.
Yeah. It's you know what it is. They always talk about misinformation and shit like that, but they're the kings of misinformation.
Oh yeah, I mean that's how propaganda works. It's good for the geese and not the person eating goose every for the holidays. I mean
Right.
it's really, I mean that's what do as you're told, not as we do. They're allowed to have an island that they're allowed to go to. All that good stuff. They do.
Great
They
baby,
do. And there's no, I don't know, how did that go over there? Speaking of, like, how did the the politics of the island there end up going over there? Like, are y'all as pissed as we are, or do you just
You
go,
talking
yeah,
about
it's America, it's a shit show?
You talking about Epstein Island?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't really. So Canada is kind of like a 50-50. Half lost cause, half people are aware, but they're complacent still. I actually don't engage in too much conversations about the shit over here. Because you know what it is? I think people are just not capable of having the conversations. Number one.
I think you're definitely right.
They're not open to the facts that this is the fucking harsh reality that we live in. Because once you go down that rabbit hole, man, you don't look at life the same fucking way.
No.
And there's a lot of people that are well aware, but they're just they want to just live their life and stay as far away from it as possible, which is understandable. But again, if it's in the media, it's a hot topic, but then they always find something to distract you from the hot topic, and they create the next hot topic, so it doesn't even get discussed anymore.
That's the goal. I mean, I say that Immortal Technique said it, where he said the fourth branch of the government is the media, because it's their propaganda machine. They have here in the States, they have I don't remember the exact quote it was, but there was an actual budget for affecting the entertainment industry. It was like, and it was crazy. It was like $8 billion a year goes into the propaganda machine every single year, and so that alone is enough to to change everything. I mean, they got movies. The main investor in what was the movie? Transformers. The first Transformers movies was the government. Now I don't know what message they were getting out there. Like I have no idea, because it didn't seem like there was much propaganda. But they were the main investor in it. Like why? Why do y'all? What were they about to say that was so bad? Or but then it comes to music. Like we talk about industry plants and things like that. That's a thing. They have these characters that are here specifically to push us in a certain way or a certain direction.
You know what's weird? You look at all the weather and shit going on, talking about investment. What do you think about weather manipulation?
Oh man, I've been having this argument here lately with my stepdad, because he was in aviation for 40 years, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I would know if they were doing this. I would know 100%. I was like, you don't know, because if you really do the research, and I sent him all the links and everything, and then it just became this, just every time I see him, it's something different about him making the argument like against. I'm like, dude, it's already out there. Like we wouldn't have laws. We have laws against it in, I think it's like 30 states that we have laws against weather manipulation. If it wasn't a thing, then they wouldn't make laws against it. We've been doing it since, the government-wise, we've been doing it since Vietnam, and it's. I mean, I've been looking at the skies for a really long time, like whether it's at night and looking at the stars, or looking at the the clouds, just and how they form. And if you go out, like every single morning, me and my wife would go we'd be going to college, and we got a 2-hour drive, and I just watched the difference in the sky and go, look how the sky is. Like, look at the different lines and rows that they're making. His argument is contrails versus chemtrails. They do not want to use that word chemtrails. Like, they're super against it.
Yeah.
Do you guys have it a lot up there?
Yeah, and you know what's fucked up is, and this is something that my wife is always onto about big time. And shout out to her; she's tuned in on the live there on IG, at 81 SKS. It's something that, like, you'll go out and it's a nice sunny day, and that'll last for maybe an hour, and then you see them just out there fucking checkerboard in the sky. And then the next day, fucking rain, cold, like, it's wild, man.
Yeah,
And it's just the
surprise,
fact that
surprise.
it's an observation and people can't, put the pieces together.
People don't really look, that movie, Don't Look Up. It's pretty accurate as far as, like, nobody is looking up. Like, they just go about their lives day by day, and they're just content with what they're doing and really focused on what they're doing. They don't take any time to look up. I mean, there was a night, what really got me looking into it and researching it even more was I went out to go get the girls some food. So on my way back, I'm sitting there and I stopped at a stoplight and I was looking up, and I could see it was like a checkerboard pattern in the clouds.
Yeah.
Like, it was like missing cloud material that made the checkerboard, and I'm like, okay, now that's new, and I don't know what would cause it. When I got home, I brought my wife out, and it was just one large swath of the sky, like just one cloud, but it was just the length of the sky all the way down, and you could see it like almost like a wall, and it looked like that. I'm like, what would cause that? So I looked into it, and it's compartmentalized. Like, there's the guy, I think the name of the company is Rainmaker. He's been on all the like Sean Ryan show and things like that, like just talking openly about weather manipulation and what they were doing. And he, as he says it, he's like, oh, we can affect it just a little bit. We can't make a torrential downfall or whatever, but when you do the research on it, you see that his company specifically was out there 2 days prior to the Texas floods that happened, and they came out of nowhere, and it was 40-foot rise in the local river there is what caused that. So I think they might have a bigger effect than they think, but the thing that makes that pattern in the sky, if you ever see it, it's they're hitting it with microwaves. They have microwave stations, and they're hitting that, and that's what actually causes the chemicals that they're putting up there with the planes and with drones, and they're even doing it from the ground, or they were. It causes them to coagulate, and that's what makes it, attract the when you hit them with the microwaves, it attracts the moisture, and then that's what falls. Most people don't have access to a lab or anything, but if you are curious on how bad it is, wait for a day where they're up there spraying and you see a bunch of contrails, and then go ahead and just take something out of your soil, send that off, because it's like $80 to do, but you'll see what the concentration is, that versus a regular day. So call it $160 to figure out how bad it is in your area, and it is terrible. Like, it is. I mean, the amount of barium and aluminum that they're putting into the skies, it's craziness. I mean, you had UK.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what you're talking about there, about the soil, right? We deal with farmers and stuff like that, and they've told us, like, nothing's organic anymore because the soil is so polluted that you can't say anything is organic anymore, and it's from all those chemicals coming down from the sky that they're spraying.
Well, what do you think? Because I have my own assumptions and own thoughts on it. But why do you think that they're doing that? Like, what is it about the weather what makes them want to do this? Like, knowing that it's going to cause all types of issues with the stuff that they're putting down.
I think it's multi. There's many different purposes for it. Number one, I think man always wants to be the biggest in power and control everything. I think there's an aspect there where if they can figure out how to manipulate everything in the world, they have complete and utter control, and that's that. Number two, I think it's there is, again, we're on this direction of food credits, you know what I mean, a society where we just exist, we get told what we can eat, when we can eat it, how much of it, and everything is manufactured. They're trying to get rid of the farming, There's so many aspects to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's in all those aspects. Like, what it all leads to is the same thing that Bill Gates had said openly, at his TED Talk, and also what they say.
Depopulation.
Yeah, depopulation, 100%. Make them, don't kill them all. Make them super, super sick. Make them capable of still contributing to the GDP every year, but make it to where they're not going to live that long. We need to shorten that. I mean, COVID alone, it dropped the average life expectancy by 2 years here in America. Like, and that takes a lot of death to do.
Yeah.
With our medical innovations and all the things that we have, it should never go down. It should always go up. But of course, that was to get rid of an elderly population, because like if we can get these people off of Social Security, which is over here, it's something that's overstressed. It's definitely not. I mean, my generation will not see it. We knew that back in 2004 when Bush was saying, he goes, "Hey, we should give you guys refunds for what you paid in so far because it's not going to be available when you're of age." It's like, well, yeah, no, it's definitely not. Do y'all have like a version of that, like Social Security?
We have Canadian pension where you put into it off of every paycheck. X amount percent goes into your Canadian pension that you're supposed to get when you retire, and then you can up it to a degree. But I mean, we're living in a time where times are so tough up here that you almost can't even afford to put those contributions because it's the food cost, the gas cost, the fucking the utility cost. Everything is just fucking sky high up here, and this is something that actually a lot of people in the United States, I know the environment, the economy, everything is different. Your minimum wage is different than ours, whatever. But nobody really understands how expensive it is up here, and it's fucking wild how many people are walking that line of just keeping their head above water and losing everything. So when it comes to like these contributions, like say for example, if I were to retire right now, I would not be able to live on the money I'm getting. It would be like $400, $500 a month from the government. That's it. And then obviously after like 65, you get an old age pension as well, which is fuck all. It's like $400 a month, $500 a month, somewhere around there. So let's just say you're getting $1,000 a month. Man, that doesn't even pay for a one-bedroom basement apartment.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Basement
apartment, like it's not gonna, a studio apartment really. And the cost, I mean, but it all seems to be intentional. Like they know that as these things become less achievable to live, like there's gonna be just mass poverty, but they know that they can't do it all at one time, because if you went and put everybody out of work, then you've got a lot of able-bodied people that are going to fight. They do not want to fight. They don't want to have to, they don't want to have to fight because it's a problem. But if they do, they always have, their AI humanoid robots for us. Have y'all been seeing those on the street at all? Like, have you seen the humanoid robots?
I just want to say a comment. Queen Jai is tuned in and salute. She said everyone seems to go to hospice basically over the healthy, but their only issue was COVID destroying their lungs. I mean, yeah, there's that.
Mm-hmm.
There's fucking. That was a big fucking. And see, that's really what woke me up. Is COVID.
Yeah.
I think COVID put a lot of people to sleep or woke them. And the funny thing is, going back to COVID, I remember we went through the SARS shit up here.
Yeah.
And when COVID came, I was like, well, fuck, like they made a big deal about SARS. Like, what am I going to worry about this shit for, right? So when COVID happened, everything was shutting down. I was fortunate enough that I had some job at grocery stores, weed stores. They were deemed essential, so they were allowed to stay open. Go figure, weed, right?
Right. It's essential, man. It's medicine. It's medicine, guys.
Exactly. And so I'm out here working, and I never wore a mask. I was like, fuck that shit. I don't give a shit. And I'm like, I'm not dropping dead. People are not dropping dead. I'm like, what the fuck are these guys doing? And that's really what made me go down that fucking rabbit hole.
I mean, was that? I mean, see, I had such a different experience. 2020 was an amazing year for me, as far as like the ability to be. So my kids can't go to school. That was fine because like they were here with me, and I was just doing the school lessons every day. Like we got up, at a reasonable time, 8:30, 9 o'clock. Everybody, they got logged in. They got a break. When they got a break, we'd eat breakfast. Whenever they got done with their schoolwork, it was like, all right, cool, we're gonna go out. So we'd go and we'd just walk because you can't go any public places. But shit, we got lots of area to just enjoy around here. So we just started walking, and I taught the girls the lay of the land here locally and how to get to their grandma's house. If something crazy were to happen, how could we get from here to grandma's house? It's like a mile and a half. It's like, that's a good walk for a day. Like,
It is.
but they don't. But
And
they don't know. Oh, go ahead.
they shut down the healthiest people, and it's funny because, my wife was a bit sketchy at first, and I kept telling her, like, listen, don't worry about it, whatever. 'Cause, everybody, when you first hear about it, you're like, okay, prepare, whatever, right? So as the time went on, she's like, fuck this, I'm not wearing a mask either. So, and then the funny thing is during that time, it gave people a lot of false perception about who they are in this world. It gave people a perception that they could fucking say anything they wanted to, and they were entitled to do it. And the funny thing is it really exposed the fucking pussies out there. How many times, my wife is 5'1", she's tiny.
Yeah.
She would go to a store, not wear a mask, and grown-ass men are sitting there trying to intimidate her to put a mask on, to the point she's got to call me and I got to go to the store. And one time, I went to the store, and, I met her outside, whatever, and she's like, okay, we're going to wait for this guy to come up. I'm like, all right. This guy comes walking out. He could barely walk. He's got a cane. He's like 400 fucking pounds. I'm like, if I were to hit that guy, he'd probably have a heart attack and die. But these are the people that felt entitled to say something to somebody.
That's because they're. I mean, they got used to online, and they're a big badass online, like everybody is. Those keyboard muscles. Like it's just funny to see that a lot of people just need to be punched in the mouth one time or two, and they'll remember. Oh yeah, you probably shouldn't just be talking shit and be rude to everybody that you meet over whatever the reason. Like we knew in Florida really quickly. Like that was the difference between us too. Is that like Florida, out of the United States, like we were the first ones to say we don't give a shit. We're not participating. Like we're just not going to do that. So here it was a political statement to wear a mask. It's like, all right, if you were wearing a mask, then you were definitely a Democrat. And I was like, and here, because I live in the upper part of Florida, it's super red over here. Like it's very red. So like seeing like people at first, because I am a germaphobe. I do not want to get sick off of somebody else's stuff. I know other people is nasty as fuck, so I typically will be like, yeah, no, you can stay 6 feet back anyway. Like I like that rule. Get the fuck back. But as far as that, I mean, I knew the science behind it was bunk. I mean, if you can sit there and say that a virus, which is much smaller than a water droplet or than smoke itself, they're smaller than that, and it gets through. Obvious, and that's all the proof that anybody should have needed that it doesn't work. Now they're doing studies about how wearing masks for kids like my kids, it created it created a social aspect where people feel more comfortable behind a mask. They don't feel like you can't see me, you can't judge me type shit like Big Daddy, the kid with the sunglasses. They're like, you can't see me if I'm wearing this mask. And then like the other part is that we use the mouth to, especially at that age, to like they watch how it's said. It's not just like the sound of it, it's the actual, they're watching how it's that's how you do your mouth. So like, and that's not something that's ever vocalized, but they found that the learning it slowed down their ability to learn speech. So some of them, it took an extra year or two to learn speech, or they have a speech impediment now. But that's the type of shit that it's like, okay, our government, if they really cared, they should have, they should have put the right information out, like just fear mongering.
Part of the agenda too, where we're covering up that portion of the face. Now you're not, getting the interaction properly. You're not getting emotions. Sometimes you're not getting the context of how somebody is saying something. You're losing that human interaction because when you talk about, the science behind wearing a fucking mask, like, I'll give you my perception, right? I work on construction sites, they're cutting MDF and all these fucking, fine particles are going into the air. If they care so much about people's health, you would be mandated to wear respiratory protection constant on a job site, right?
Yep.
So now they come out with this shit, you just gotta put this little fucking piece of fucking whatever it is over your mouth, that the sides are open, everything still goes in. So it definitely wasn't about the health. Do you think there was more about trying to hide the human interaction?
A good possibility. I mean, really, that right there. I mean, that shows your smile. Like that might have been the one thing that made more.
That's it right there. People's smiles.
Yep. You literally took that away from people. So it's a droll and down place, and everybody. I mean, if you remember, I mean, the polarization in 2016 was bad, and then it pulled all the way up to 2020 where it like came to a head where people got tired of listening to the bullshit, and they're like, nah, we're gonna do something. And that's when also you have the civil unrest from the George Floyd protests and everything that was going on there. So like that, but plus speaking of they had the BLM movements that was there, but they had these planned, they had FBI agents that were planted there. They had bricks that were literally shipped to the sites of the protests. That just doesn't happen randomly. There's not just some dude back there going, hey, you know what? I'm kind of well off. Let me put this there ahead of time just in case they need it. The bricks being there without a construction site for blocks is like, what? Come on now.
Yeah, that's a little like, could you be any more obvious?
The January 6th stuff, like it was the same way there. They found that the one of the major actors there was an FBI agent. Like there's a video of him, a known FBI agent, going, all right, let's go in. Like he's telling him to do it. He's what is it, agent provocateur? Like that's, to me, the fact that we know that this is the case. We know that now, like it's just getting worse. Like that evidently opened the door to being able to do whatever the fuck they wanted. They know what they can get away with, I guess, because I mean now you have it to where he put that 1.4, 1.6 billion dollar budget, a slush fund for victims of January 6th. But who does that apply to exactly? It applies to him. Like, he's like, I'm a victim.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm probably the best victim if I was. Like he bothers the shit out of me in the sense that he's allowed to do anything that he wants without any accountability, and that's every politician at this point can say whatever they want.
Yeah.
I really think he did change politics forever with just one line. Like, so what are your opinions on the current education system and so on, and what do you think about what's going on in the Middle East? She's a pig. What? We didn't ask about that. But being able to, like, he doesn't act like any president before him. Never. Like, we never had that. Even in Reagan, where he was an actor, from back then, still not acting like this. Like, he had a level of, I don't know, presidential fucking attitude. Now, presidential means something completely different. So, I feel like this is just, it's all just, it's one big game to the people that are actually playing it, and they're playing it with people's lives. I don't necessarily think it's any one government. I mean, it seems like it would be.
It's all government.
Yes.
It's all government.
Like there's a like a multinational or international, like the kind of like the World Economic Forum. Like essentially that's what it is, or what is it, G16?
I can't fucking stand this motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. If you look at what because I've looked into patents for some of the things that they have patents for, because I was just curious, like one day, and I just went down the rabbit hole and was looking for at the patents, and it's all bad. Like there's not a single thing that's like for humanity. Like I can see where it could be argued for, but it's obvious that they're not going to use it that way. The first thing that every scientist does when he invents something is he asks two questions. First one, can I fuck it? Then he asks then he's like, all right, well, can I kill somebody with it? And that's the first two questions that they ask. And like I think that right there tells you all you need to know about humanity in general. Like when we invent something, the first thing, or not humanity, because I think that as individuals, everybody's relatively good. Like there are a minority of people that are going to be, you know, actual bad people, but really I think that everybody wants the same thing. But I don't know. It's just because my wife does not think about this shit at all. Zero. She's like, what can I do about it? She doesn't care.
You know, I understand that mindset too, because at the end of the day, what can we fucking do about it unless you get whole civilizations on the same track, which unfortunately that's not possible because they've done such a good job at division. Again, you know, what can you do about it? And the best thing is knowledge and spreading the knowledge, but you got to be receptive of the knowledge. Some people just don't want to hear it, and then it's complacent. You know, some people just want to wake up, live their lives, go home, and not have to worry about shit.
Yeah, I mean it's a beautiful life. Once you, like you said, once you see it, one of the lessons I told my son that he said stuck with him. Some things you can't unsee. Like once you see something, you're stuck with it. Like once you've learned something and you've become, you know, aware, it sucks. Yeah, it's gonna be forever. You're always gonna be aware of this thing. Like if nobody ever told me how hot dogs were made, I'd probably eat hot dogs.
I know how they're made. I still eat them.
I do too. I do too. I can't help it.
I mean, sometimes you know you're downtown and you got the street vendors and like, you know.
Literally that's the exact time.
Yeah.
But it's again, like I don't know. Once you know these things though, because like I'm writing a book on specifically that. Like I have 3 books planned, and one of them is specifically on all of the different I'm going to call them conspiracy theories, but really it's just the conspiracy facts. I'm doing nothing but using their own sources to go, look, this is what has happened, this is what is happening, and this is by their own like admission, and yet we do nothing. Like we sit here and like you said, what can we do? I mean, education is the first step to turn that 5% into what percentage would we have to convert, and by that point they're going to put it into it. They're going to cause division before then. They're going to when the Million Drone Army is up and operational inside the United States, I mean, done. There's nothing you can do.
That's what you were talking to me about right before I went back to the COVID shit. You were asking about robotics and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And if we start to see it up here. So I'm gonna tell you something. I think did I send you the video of this when it came across my way? So we're doing this job site at a university. It's a residence building, and the government is testing robot spray machines. So essentially, it's this robot that takes 2 people to control. They have to go in, set everything up, whatever, and then the robot will go, you know, spray up, come down, move, spray up, come down. But the whole thing is, you know, in context, right? It can't do ceilings, can't do more than one color, it can't cut the lines, it can't do trims, it can't prep, so it's still 80% human. This robot is $500,000 that the government is paying to paying these contractors to test it on the job sites. And it's just so fucking stupid. But yes, we are starting to see the robotics.
That sounds like what they're going to do with everything. I mean, they've already done it. China did it really well with farming. They went ahead and took, as far as farming goes, they were like, hey, everybody's moving to the cities and they're staying out of the farming areas, and we need more people in these farming areas. They're not staying, even though we told them to. So they were like, fuck it, you know what? All the ones that are here, which is quite a large number considering it's China, they mechanized their entire operation, where it's front to back, it's all machines, and just said, all right, you guys, you're fucked. That move right there probably killed quite a few million people just over time, because they're all going to struggle for however long because that was their way of life for however long. Once they take the mechanized jobs, like painting, people, they're telling us right now, get in the trades. We are at the moment, the singularity almost, where you have quantum computing, robotics, and AI all at the same time, and when those come together, when they converge, it can do anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, they're already having people, this is the part that I thought was messed up, having factory workers overseas, like they're sitting there with a camera on all day, and they just do their thing with the camera on, and knowing that they need to see their hands the entire time that they're doing this thing, so that a robot can replicate it later. Like they're using the data to program robots. So, and every job, like in New York City, you can get your house cleaned right now for free. They'll come by and clean your house. The reason is because they're using these people in suits, like they just wear suits, and it just maps their body, and they're using the data. So like, yeah, we'll come by and clean it. We need more places to clean. You want it for free? We'll just take the data. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. Queen Jai was just asking a question. What do you guys think about these AI databases being built and their contributions to the environment? Kind of ties in with the whole robotics. What do you think about that?
Well, it's a very, very, it's a very close subject for me because there's the beginnings of an AI data center 1 mile down the street from my house. I live in the country. There's nobody around me, and I did that on purpose. I could live in the city. I'm good. I'm gonna live out here by myself and be gravy. But one mile down the street, like at the end of my street, essentially is this 10,000 acres, and they've already taken quite a bit of acreage there, and they're building it's 1,000 acres of land that they're using. I don't know what the size facility is, but it's a water treatment facility. When we're a small town, we don't need that. We already have our water treatment facility that's just fine. But that's a large scale, and so what they're doing is they're cleaning it enough to use it in a data center. So I know that there's one right down the street from my house. So I started doing my research, and what it looked like was essentially what they do is, one, the water.
Yeah.
Here you can have a well and such. Like my parents have a well, I have a well. You can have a well, but once they come in here, they're literally going to tap into that, and they're going to not only disrupt it to where you can't drink the water out of your well because they're in the aquifer, but they're going to drain it just like they did all the lakes in this country for bottled water. Like they've drained a shit ton of lakes. What was it? Something Springs. I can't remember what the name of the water was here in Florida, but they just came in. You used to see it all the time in Walmart, and then it was gone because the lake is gone. They sucked it up until there was nothing left. And that's the same thing with the data centers. They're going to use all the water. They are, emitting heat where it's changing the local areas that's around them by like up to 5 degrees. So like that's a lot. And then you look at the sound. Like the sound that's there is shitty. Like it makes a lot of noise, and it's for miles, so that you can just hear it, the hum that's never ending. So yeah, no, I'm very pissed off about it. They're going to use all of our resources. We have 155 data centers here in Florida, and we're in a drought. They're telling people in everywhere around the state that you don't take a shower during during these times. Make sure you only water your grass this amount. Like they're giving us restrictions. Don't only wash your car once a month or some shit. Like they're giving us restrictions, but still bringing in these data centers to go, yeah, it's gonna be fine. Like everything's gonna be fine. No, they can do. Each data center can do between what is it? It's between 1 million and 4 million gallons of water a day.
Yeah.
What are we doing with that? Like that's done for. Like that. So resource wise, we're fucked. Do y'all have them there?
I'm sure we do. I haven't really looked into it. I do my, sometimes I just have to tune in with everything.
You got real quiet.
I'll just go, I got quiet?
Yeah, it got real quiet.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Sometimes I just have to seclude myself and just stay away from everything, and I'll go through my periods of where I'll go down the rabbit hole again, and then I'll tune out because it can be overwhelming. Data centers I haven't looked too much into, so I can't really comment on that one. But I'm sure they're here.
Yeah.
United States and Canada is not too much separation.
They're everywhere.
How they operate, right?
And y'all are colder. I guarantee they want to be in the colder climates, because like that's
For sure.
That's what they wanted to do with Greenland over there. And that's why it was a big important thing for us, because we need a place where we can put a secure data center that's got natural cold. Speaking of cold places and such, What's your opinion of Antarctica? What do you got there?
So my opinion in total is, I could tell you global warming. I don't believe it's a thing.
Why? What makes you
Because
think
it
it?
can still get cold as fuck here.
Huh.
And everything that I've seen over my life, there's always been, like, if you go to where my parents live in Newfoundland, there's always been pieces of icebergs breaking off, floating down the ocean, going past. Like, that's always been a thing. Um, I have heard about, over so many X amount of years, the climate shifts, right? So where you do get freezing, it starts to, alternate.
Yeah.
That I've heard about. I would be more into believing that over the global warming. Um,
I mean, I think that's what it is, though. Like, I think that's literally what it is. Like, I think that the change in climate is literally just the process of the Earth. It's going to go through cycles. Like, you can look
yeah,
at the almanacs for recorded history, and see that it goes through these types of shifts. So, like, it's going to be swinging one way or the other. Now, we do have, if we're talking about that, then the polar shift, the magnetic north switching, that does happen every so often. I don't remember what the years is. It's like tens of thousands
like
of years.
thousands of years. Yeah.
Yeah, but like once it switches, it causes some issues in the climate. Like it's what drives a bunch of different things. So my real problem is that we're in that time period now. Like we're in the time where it does switch, and it is we don't have history for the last time it switched. Like we weren't around like writing
Yeah.
shit down. So and if we were, that shit got erased.
I will say this, and this might sound kind of fucked up, but if it's shifting, I'm more than happy with it shifting because finally we'll start to get the tropical weather,
Yes.
and you guys are gonna freeze. I'm
Yes.
okay with that.
That's absolutely.
I want the nice weather for once, right? Like I want to be able to go to where my parents live and that be a fucking tropical beach now, as opposed to just rocks and cold ocean.
that
So I'm okay with.
although I'll be moving your way if that's the case because I don't do the cold. So like I will say that everybody like our biggest concern it looks like that's China, that's Russia, and the United States and Canada are all focused on the North Pole. Actually, they want to get as much of that land as possible and get it locked down because it's going to be they say the shipping lane. So China is sitting there doing super business with Russia just to be able to have access to it.
Yeah.
So that tells me a lot that there's a plan. There's knowledge. There's 100-year teams at AT&T. Like they were people that are planning the business 100 years in the future. So like if you don't think that's that way for governments, I mean they obviously are looking forward and going okay. This is what we have to do to be in place and position for that thing that's going to happen later on. That
Yeah.
if you've looked at the 2027 U.S. naval maps for 2027, it's spooky. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
It's the entire United States. All of Florida's gone. The entire middle of the United States is water. Like everywhere that's not a mountain or higher than Florida is underwater. And I'm like, all right, did I miss this memo or some shit? Like, why is the naval map completely different and crazy? Like that doesn't make much sense to me. But I don't know.
And you said that for 2027?
Yeah, 2027 naval map. And I'm like, okay, like are
That's a
people
big
aware of some
change.
shit? Huh?
That's a big change in less than a year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a huge change. But maybe it was something that got out that was I don't know. I can't come up with a reason why it would be the official map. But if y'all are out there, look it up. It's
Do you think a lot of it is speculation and assumption, or do you think a lot of it is just to scare people?
I think that there's both. I think that there's a lot of speculation into things that will happen, and then something else happens. I mean, that's what we try and do as humans is go, all right, we try and plan. Like, what is it? Life is what happens while you're planning something else. Like, we plan for a lot of things, but it doesn't always go that way. So like, but there's a level of like just look 100 years, 200 years, like look as far as recorded history, and your almanacs will tell you quite a bit about what the weather and everything else is supposed to do. But we don't really have seasons anymore. Here, like, it could be cold. It was cold until like last month, and that's not normal for Florida at all. But they're messing. It brings us back to the original point: weather manipulation.
And we were cold till recently, and I think that's because everything is shifting. So now we're getting winter. We're still getting the same amount of winter, but we're getting it later in the year, right? So it is moving. That's just a basic observation.
Yep. And people can do that. They can observe that fact just by being aware of it. But they don't. But we don't live on that kind of timeline. We live on an almost.
Hey, can I tell the story real quick?
Yeah, I do.
Because my guy Eugenio just tuned in, and I got to tell the story. Eugenio, I'm going to tell your story, man. So he sent me a message. I found this fucking hilarious. So I got to create a disclaimer for the podcast because he was going through a divorce, and his ex went and fucking tried to use his content on Cigar Talk Toronto against him in court.
What?
Crazy ass bitches, man.
I mean, it's entertainment purposes only,
You know, exactly. She tried to say that his words on the show prevented her from getting a job, and defamation of character and all that. And fucking yeah, man. I feel for him, but Eugenio, man, I'm so happy you're finally through it all, man. Have a drink, have a cigar, and steer clear of that crazy one.
I mean, it's hard to do. Some crazy ones slip through the cracks of the security and shit. Like they seem normal. They seem normal. But it's like that's. I know a lot of people like Tio would be a great person to have a lot to say on the subject, really, because like that's I haven't been divorced. It's just I haven't been divorced. So I don't know that life exactly. I mean, I've had long relationships and breakups, and it's just not the same because it seems that well, they don't get half my shit, and we don't have to go to court for it. It's just like, let's fucking split.
So, hey, do you have common law down there where
We do.
even if you're not married, if you live together for X amount of time, you're still considered common law? So when you split, there is still a requirement to share.
That's so. Yes and no. Like, so every state gets to decide if they do or don't. We just this year actually started that here in Florida. Like, it hadn't ever been a thing, and now it's a thing. So I told my wife, you're gonna have to get out.
Yeah.
No, we've been. We're not actually officially married, but that's not. I mean, have every intention to. We've been together 12 years. It's not the most. You get taxed essentially for being married. Like, it's the marriage tax. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why? It doesn't matter a single bit. Like, that's just a piece of paper. You're doing it for the government because, like, the people, everybody knows that's my wife. Like, they don't refer to her as anything else. So, I don't know. Do y'all have common law?
There's no fight married when it comes to the government.
Do what?
What's that? There's no financial gain to being married.
Right. It's actually going to cost you quite a bit.
It costs you more than you fucking gain from it. So, I mean, again, marriage is just some crazy motherfucker out there came up with some contractual agreement because he didn't want to let somebody, or she didn't want to let somebody go that they knew they couldn't keep. That's the way I look at it.
Back in the day, seeing as the ones in control back in the day when these laws were probably enacted was males, man. I was going, nah, you are.
Probably.
You're here. You're gonna be here. You've been here. You're gonna be here. Do you think that? Okay, so here's one. I don't remember which comedian said it though, but he was saying that he goes. It might have been Cat Williams. He said, sure, you have the right to have a baby, not have a baby, or whatever it is. Like, you have the right, the pro-choice type view. And then he goes, but if you do, and the dad doesn't agree, then he shouldn't have to pay child support because he didn't have a choice. And you still knowing that he's not agreeing to that, and you still have the baby, then it would be on you. Do you think that's a justifiable view?
I think. Okay, so here's my perspective of that. I think it's. Sorry, I'm trying to get the camera just because I'm watching the IG live, and all you can see is like my knee. Looks like my knee's talking to everybody. So you get together, you hook up, she becomes pregnant. A conversation happens about whether you can keep it or not keep it. So first of all, are you pro or anti-abortion for the context?
I'm not, me personally, I'm not either. I don't have an opinion because it's not my place to say. I can say that I was 16 when I had my son, and my whole thing was I didn't want kids. I never wanted kids. I was like, fuck that. And before I even get out of high school, I got, I had my son, and I would have said, get rid of that motherfucker, like quickly. I did say, very adamantly, no. And knowing what I know now, and seeing the very first time I saw him, it was like just whole heart, like, oh fuck, all right, that's me, and I got you. So like, I'm glad that she didn't, but I couldn't tell anybody that it's that's their opinion on what they think that a when life begins type thing. Like that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, you see, so like my thought is the same way in a sense of who the fuck am I to tell somebody what they should or should not do, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we gotta know our fucking role, and regardless whether you're pro or anti, you still gotta respect the fact that now there's context, was somebody raped this or this or this, right? But in the context of if a father, for example, is like, listen, I'm fucking 17 years old, I don't even got a job, I can't afford this. It's a tricky one, man. It's a tricky one. It's really, I don't know if there's because at the same time, my mature brain looks at it like, well, if you can't afford a kid, you should have taken the precautions to ensure that it didn't happen.
But that's not always, that's not always the case. I will say that she was on birth control and I was wearing a condom, and still got pregnant. So I got some Michael Phelps in this bitch.
Practice the pull-out.
Yeah, that's right. Yo, I didn't know. Man, I figure everything's good. Like you don't think anything of that especially at the time. And I got 4 kids, so obviously I didn't learn how that works yet. Still, so but no, it's.
But there's also a sense of, if you are a determined person, you will find a way to make it work financially. You'll up your game to ensure that, you can take care of your kid.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I want to say like, hey, it happened. It's your responsibility. You got to man up.
I agree with that. I agree entirely with that. But at the same time, I'm a libertarian, like hardcore through and through, which means that if you don't hurt another person or someone else's property, fucking have at it. Like do your thing. Like do whatever the fuck you want.
To each their own. If they were to have a discussion and the woman was like, you know what, I understand. So you know what, we're gonna do this, this, and this. You're not even gonna be in his life. You'll never be recognized as his father because of this. Cool. Good on you. Go for it, right? Because he chose to say, I'm not going to fucking step up and take care of my kids, so peace out. In terms of funding and child support, I mean, who am I to say, right? I've been through this scenario where I had a kid with somebody, and we split when he was 8 months old, and I was always there for him in his life, and I met my wife when he was a year old, so she's essentially raised him with me, right?
Yes, me too.
So,
same, exact.
So we've been through the battle of, 50-50, and then the other one having custody. Now we got full custody, and there is a level of greed where, a lot of times people use the system against you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not so much of, I believe in keeping the system out of it. Come up with your agreement. This is what I'm going to give you. This is whatever the case is. We agree. Boom, boom, done. The problem is, people are never content with that agreement. They want you to maximize their dollar, and unfortunately, in these scenarios, children are a money-making tool.
You are 100% correct, and that's still, a lot of moms will weaponize because most states, just being real, most states automatic, like when there's a split, the kid goes with the mom. Like that's just how it goes. It definitely is like that here, and so they weaponize their kids. Like they weaponize the it's financial. It's also not just financial. It's going to end up being like emotional. Like they'll hold them hostage. Like they
Yep.
won't let you see them because well, you haven't paid, so I don't actually have to, because if you don't pay, like what kind of craziness? If the courts, if everything was equitable and you were both, the courts are only looking out for the best interest of the kid, then that would be fine. But it never works like that. The system itself is
No, they
broken,
don't.
and nobody cares.
You know what they care about? They care about a turnaround rate. They care about getting it done. They get their money. They move on to the next case. I mean, everything is fucking business. And
Right.
once you learn to look at everything as business, you view things differently.
Absolutely.
You learn to negotiate differently. You learn to view things differently and approach things differently. And unfortunately, I learned that going through the battles for my son. That I'm like, shit. This is my son, right? But they're like, no, this is just business. When you talk to the lawyers and shit. So unfortunately, you gotta look at it. Okay, what's in the best interest of the business, right? Well, if the best interest of the business is to be with me, now you look at things a bit differently, and you can be a bit more aggressive in your negotiations. We'll put it like that.
If you are, and that's the thing, is like if you, we should have that conversation. All of this could be avoided by having a conversation ahead of time and being real. Like, just be real, and everything would work out just fine. But it doesn't work like that. You can't. So you go, hey, I actually don't want to have kids. So if I do, if you do get pregnant, just know I ain't gonna be there, right? Like, you agree? You want to sign this piece of paper that says I never? Oh, like, I mean, you can say whatever it is you want to ahead of time. But when it happens and neither one of you even had that conversation, yet, like, I didn't even want kids. Oh shit, I did. Like, that's on y'all for not having that conversation.
Well, you see, now this is what I learned. You could say it whatever you want to, right? You could write that down and boom, boom. Unless it's court ordered, it's irrelevant. So at any moment in time, someone could turn around and be like, hey, trust me, I went through it. I lost a lot of money because of it.
Did you have a kid prenup?
No, there was no like prenup like that because I was never married. But when you come up with a parental agreement, unless it goes to court and they put that through as an official agreement,
Yeah.
it's really there's no nothing to it. There's no validity to it.
If you get, okay, maybe that just is the difference in law. There is like, so if you don't have it, if you had an agreement and you both had that, the same exact thing, like he's not going to be responsible for payment because he doesn't want kids, and you have her sign that piece of paper and notarized, that should be sufficient. You signed to an agreement regardless.
No. And I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
There was a moment in time where the distances became too great for it to be 50-50 custody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because myself and my wife lived close to where he was going to school, we're like, listen, have him stay here during the week. He can go with you 3 weekends out of the month. I don't want no money, whatever, right?
Yeah.
That never came to fruition. Counter offer, okay, he can live with me and I don't want any money from you, okay? So we couldn't come to an agreement based upon that, right? So we went to court, and my son at that moment in time wanted to go live with his mother to work on his relationship. So we're like, okay, we're gonna respect your decision, and we'll make it happen for you. Now when we went to court and we were like, listen, these were the agreements that we were discussing. She doesn't want any money, and the court said, doesn't matter if she wants money or not, she's getting it.
Yeah. They did the
So
same
even
thing
if
here.
that's what they said. Even if you agreed to it, signed it, everything, once it goes to court, that it's irrelevant.
Yeah, they did it here the same way. Like, so once you're, I believe it's once you have a kid or whatever, and if you use any like type of food assistance or government assistance in any way, shape, or form, they're like, all right, so you have to be going after the baby dad for child support, and regardless if you agree or not or don't, they'll find them for you so they can go ahead and tax them. So, my second baby mom, she did that exact thing where it was like, we were like and I was perfectly fine with paying child support. It's just the way that she went about it was just messed up. And so like went through court, did that. Like, she got child support, everything's good. Like, kid lived with her mom, all that good stuff. But then come to the time where, and I did a lot of stuff to actually make sure that, that she was paid on time, all that good shit, like so on. And then when she was under my custody, like when she came to me, she was in kindergarten. So she's in kindergarten, she's in my house, and I had to fight for her not to have to pay anything. Like, it took a lot of work and time and effort on my part to have her not pay for anything. Because if I got my daughter, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't even care.
Yeah.
Like, you can do whatever. And and so that's exactly how it was for years and years and years. And then never had her pay child support. Never, not a single dime. I fought again against it. And then then when my daughter's 16, my daughter wants to go to her mom's house. Her mom wants her to go there. I wouldn't have cared if they even remotely asked. They didn't ask at all. Like, they didn't say anything. They're just like, hey, she's gonna go over here this weekend, because she saw her. She went to her house every weekend or during the summers, whenever she's not in school. It's fine. And this weekend they just decided, they were like, yeah, no, we're not gonna she's not coming back. Bullshit, what are you talking about? Like, she's got to finish school,
Yeah.
then she can do whatever the hell she wants. And then they're like, no, she's just not. She's like, get the fuck out of here. So I started driving over to their house, because she damn sure is. And then I got called by the cops going, hey, actually, you cannot. So I was like, dude, I've had her for her whole damn life, essentially, and it didn't work that way. So I was spiteful, and I was like, here, before any court orders get done, child support. I turned the child support on, and it was they evidently retroacted it all the way back to the beginning, so it was like $34,000. I was like, oh shit, that wasn't.
So there is there a okay, two questions for you.
Yeah.
Can the police enforce court orders when it comes to custody? And two,
Yes.
Because up here they can't enforce court orders.
Cannot or can?
No, they can't. They
Oh,
cannot.
they can here.
So there were scenarios where my son was withheld on my time, and the police were just like, you got to go to court. There's nothing we can do, because and it just passed not long ago, because so many people were using the cops for unnecessary things that I guess they just like, we got to wipe our hands clean of this. Unless there's somebody in danger, like, you got to go to court. And then two, so going back with retroactive, can you only go back a certain amount of years retroactive? Because up here it's 3 years.
No, it went all the way back to wherever they were keeping. I have no idea where they were keeping track from, because I literally never got child support from her. I never wanted child support from her. I actually paid child support for a year and a half while having my kid, because they couldn't prove that I had my kid. I'm like, look, she's in school with me. Her mom lives in another state. Like, what are you talking about? And but again, playing the bigger man type situation. And then when it comes down to it, so they go, okay, well, for 2 years, a year and a half till she turns 18, you got to pay child support. I do. And I'm like, okay, so take whatever it is you're gonna make me pay, and take it out of the $34,000 that she owes me. Then how about that? And they're like, yeah, no, that's a civil matter. You got to figure that out. But you do owe us.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, she doesn't even pay the fucking back child support that she's supposed to be paying. Like, she's supposed to pay $60 a month. She pays $10, $15 a month, and it's fine for them. But if I said that same thing, which I've tried, they go, nah, that's not an option. Why? It doesn't make any sense.
Do they base the child support on your gross or your take home?
Your gross, whatever your, yeah.
Isn't that fucked up though, that you're paying money based upon money you never see?
Yes, absolutely. That's absolutely.
That's fucked. Like, I, for the life of me, I'm like, I don't see this money. All this money has gone to taxes, and then, like we were talking about earlier, CPP and this and unemployment insurance.
Yep.
And it's like, so you're going to charge me based upon everything before tax. But where in life does that apply anything other than child support?
Every consumer item that you buy, because you're paying tax on it. Like, it's already been taxed how many times by the time you're done doing it. Your income, like, Florida doesn't have an income tax, but most other states do. Like,
So you guys don't have income tax?
nah.
Oh fuck. Oh man, I need to move to Florida.
I'm saying that's it.
That shit-
It's.
that-
I mean,
that
no,
shit
we
is
have
that-
the
that
highest
shit-
tax.
that-
Stay the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
No.
Anybody want to adopt a Canadian down in Florida? Let me know. I come with another Canadian and a Colombian.
The two of you that are white, you can come right on down now. The Colombian, whoa, I don't know, man.
No, but her skin is white, so she blends in.
Oh, all right. Well, that's a whole different story, man. Shit, why didn't you say so? But they do. I mean, you know, I actually make that joke a lot about when it comes to the whole build a wall. Like, yeah, build a wall, build a wall. I'd get in with them sometimes, and be like, yeah, build a wall. They're like, we got to keep those Canadians out of here. And they're like, whoa, what do you mean? Well, you said immigrants and stuff, right? Yeah, but that's different. Whoa, what? What? Is it about immigration or is it about the color of their skin and their culture? Like, that's where you get to play it out. It's like somebody saying the South, the rebel flag. It's about states' rights. Yeah, right to own people. Like, that was what they was concerned with. Like, that was rights, sure. But it's the same argument there. we constantly because as far as somebody I'm biracial, so like I'm half Puerto Rican, half white, Russian, and I don't have a home team necessarily. Like I don't care about race at all. Like it doesn't bother like whatever it is. Like there's not a race of people that I dislike more so. But I feel like there's a home team feeling for people that are not biracial. I know that's somewhat ignorant because but I feel like that. Like it's like home team. Like whoever it is, it's
But
like.
if you were to pick a side, would you pick Puerto Rican or would you pick Russian?
The what? I can't hear you.
If you were, what about now? You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Your screen got blurry there on you.
Somebody's.
All this fancy equipment you got, man, I'm telling you.
So what was it? What was it now?
Say you don't have a home team, but let's just say, okay, for example, and this is the topic of debate in my household. So, World Cup is happening right now, okay? So, my wife is Colombian, I'm Canadian. She's like, so who are you gonna go for? I'm like, clearly I'm going for Canada. I'm like, who are you going for? She's like, Colombia. I'm like, but you live in Canada. It's like, you kind of gotta go for the home team. Come on now. So, let's just say there's a game going on, and it's Puerto Rico versus Russia. Who are you going for?
Only because Puerto Rico is part of America, I'm gonna say Puerto Rico. But if it was like, if it was like, I don't know, like let's just say Spain versus anybody, I don't care. Like, the lineage is so far back. Like when you get to Tiana's, like I don't know. Like I don't have when it comes down to a racial thing. Like I really don't. It just doesn't matter. Like it just doesn't matter to me at all. Like because people are like everybody has a different culture. Especially if you've traveled, that's the other thing. I feel like a lot of people that are culturally ignorant, they haven't traveled, so they don't really know any other culture but local to where they live, which it's culture shock. I don't know if you've even moving around like here in the States, like you move from, I don't know, like let's say Orlando, which is a every ethnicity. It doesn't matter who, like the world is in Orlando, and then you move to somewhere like where I'm at, the north side, where in Crestview, in the Panhandle, there's nobody around. It is nothing. Like there is white or black, and that's pretty much it. That's the only races that are here. And it's like, okay, so that's just it's a lack of exposure to different cultures. We go to Texas, completely the same thing.
That's what I think racism comes down to is lack of experience, exposure, where they don't understand that people are people and we're all connected on a human level, and they just go based upon what the fucking media pumps in your brain. Like I always say this, white people are racist, the Spanish are the fucking drug smugglers, the black people are the thugs and the gangsters, the browns are the fucking, the terrorists. Everybody's got a fucking label.
Yep.
And it's the government and the media that's giving everybody a label. And people that don't have the experience, they take it and run with it.
Yes. I mean, it's just, but ignorance, we talk about it like, ignorance isn't just like, it's not just a derogatory term. It's a it's a mindset, or it's a lack of information, and that's all that ignorant means. And so the lack of information and the lack of experience there, it drives racism. It drives racism. It drives the cultural differences, because if you have exposure to like this whole red versus blue, this whole political dichotomy that they have is it could easily be dispelled if we just actually knew anything about that other side. Because like honestly, the major differences, like the each 10%, like the extremes, like of left and right, like if we cut those off, like the squeaky wheel gets the grease type shit, they are the loudest. They're the ones that are publicized, and that's the thing that the other person hates. Like, and it's algorithmic. They did that shit on purpose. Like they show you the stuff that's gonna piss you off about that other group because they know what you are or are close to. So it's designed. Like this is all our division is designed.
There's far more numbers on the in-between category than on the extreme category. And
Yes.
I think as society we gotta weed out the extreme, because there's a lot of people that, and this is what, when you look at politics, there's no 3, 4, 5 parties, or there's no working together to bring the best ideas to accommodate, the citizens. It's either you're so far this way and you're down with us and fuck everybody else, or you're so far this way, and that's really brainwashed the human brain of thinking on that wavelength, and it's the wrong fucking concept.
It would be nice if people would be more if they were actually curious. Like I will say that like people aren't typically curious. I know that in America specifically, like if you ask what was it? It was a crazy number. Like it was like, I want to say it was over half, but I'm just gonna say half. Like half the people they asked for to point at England on a map, they couldn't do it. Point to Portugal on a map. It's like so culturally Americans are very American centric. Like they don't know anything about any other country at all. Ask who's in control of any other country, they're like, I don't know. Ask any other country.
A lot of Americans still think we live in fucking igloos up here.
Yeah, and that's the same thing that they have about Africa, where like like when you imagine Africa, is it a what they showed on all the commercials where it's just everything is just completely there's no such thing as a city there? No.
Yeah.
Like or have you seen like do you know that like there's huge cities like these great.
Do they even know Africa is just a fucking continent? Like there's countries in Africa.
No.
A lot of people think Africa is a country.
No, they don't. They really don't, and it really fucks with me, man. Like the level of, and it's just we're in the age of we're in the information age, meaning we have access to all of the information that we want. You could learn about any subject. What'd you learn today? The Kardashians were doing something. The fucking Trump was doing like they don't give a fuck. Not even world events.
Yeah, we're in a really fucked up time, to be honest. And I don't even know how to sum it up. It's just fucked up on all levels. You're glamorizing over people that got fame from fucking a sex tape.
Yeah, 100%. Morality.
We got shit backwards, man. Big time.
It's I looked it up the other day, the numbers. So like it's 10% of American females in America have a OnlyFans, and I was like, okay, 10%. That seems right. Like I met some hoes, but I just like, and then I was thinking about the number. I was like, wait a minute, how many people is that? It's like 3 million women are like that's their vocation. I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot. Like that's more than is in the army here. So like, there's an army of hoes out there, just filming shit.
Yeah. And listen, I don't judge. Listen, if I was this fucking hot young woman, I might consider making $1 off of some fucking videos.
I 100% would.
I got a question for you actually, and I've been thinking about this, and this is going completely off that topic of OnlyFans now, and I gotta word this correctly.
Okay.
So, okay, in life, you look at somebody like, say, I gotta be careful because last time I said Hitler, I got banned from TikTok.
Yeah. Hey, we don't give a fuck here.
You look at someone like Hitler who, you know, according to history, killed all these people, fucking, you know, horrible human being, except, okay, so, he sacrificed people. So now, this is the way my brain is operating on this topic. So now you come up to Canada, right? So you look at the transgender suicide rate, and it's upwards of 40%. Okay. So now you always hear about, when it comes to celebrities, politicians, human sacrifice. Now, when you have a government that promoting and endorsing transgender, knowing that the suicide rate is 40+%, do you see that as human sacrifice?
No, not human sacrifice, because like, well, to the extent of they don't care about the numbers, they know that that's an acceptable amount of people to die in any group. They would like that if we would all, as a whole, go ahead and start to enact this. Like if you could get 40% of the people out, they'd be like, oh shit, yeah, that was very efficient. We should have done that sooner.
But you know that the suicide rate within that population is high, and you're driving people to go to that lifestyle, knowing 40% are going to commit suicide. So it's not human sacrifice, but you're still driving people to kill themselves.
Yes, and I think that they're doing that with black culture as well here in America. Like,
yeah.
I think that there's an effort to go, you know, to promote the most negative parts of life and culture in America, and that's done through the music. Like, for how long was, while gangster rap was having its evolution and it was coming out like throughout the late 80s, through the 90s, you know, what was country talking about? You know, like the good old boys, man. What are they talking about? They're talking about their damn bear, their fucking trailer, their dog. Like they weren't talking about anything that was like, you know, going to damage their culture. Whereas, you know, the music that was listened to created this level of, it is cool to be gangster. It is cool to be like that. And rock culture too, though. Like, you know, rock culture is all about, you know, lots of drugs, lots of drugs.
Yep.
Like, so. There's this thing, who was it? It was Marilyn Manson said that he actually, for one whole album, there was frequencies and resonance that you can use that will cause, like, it just is a natural reaction in your brain to have an aggressive feeling. And so, like, they let that frequency play the entire record. Like, so if you listen to that thing from the beginning to the end, like, you've been sitting there for an hour going, like, fuck, I want to fuck something up. Like, literally, it's just a biological fucking hack that they're hitting you with.
Yeah.
And I think that happens
and there's
a
even
lot.
patents on certain frequencies. We were talking about this last time. Yeah, we got into that last time. There's certain frequencies that are patented because you can actually use it against people.
Yes, I did that deep dive a couple, probably, I don't know, I want to say like 5 months ago or so, like just going in and going, all right, what are the patents on human manipulation, like mind manipulation and things like that, like not mind control, because we're not there yet, but there's lots of things that can make you, so there's a pulse, a frequency that can make you either, it's aggressive, it's bored, it's horny, or it's hungry. They can stimulate those four things just based on a pulse that they can give you through your phone, through any screen whatsoever, and they can just pulse it. And after a certain amount of time, you're going to be that thing. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, and we sit there, you know, how many hours you got on your phone this week? Because they are literally controlling your mood.
Could you imagine? I don't know why this just tricked in my head, but we were talking about, you know, going back to the fucking having a baby and whatever. Can you imagine going to court and the dude was like, man, she turned on this music and the frequency was this, and it had nothing to do with me, it just made me horny, and now I got a baby. Holy fuck, man.
Yeah, if that was the case, I mean, I've heard of crazy things, and I'm not blaming women or anything else. This was a specific case, but this chick was putting her boyfriend that she really wanted to keep him, and you know he was hard to hold down type shit, and so she puts a nicotine patch on him every day when they're around each other, like she'll sneak it on him, and she just sneaks it on his back. And so like when he's away from her and she takes it off, like so, and I don't know how that works because like it's gonna stay on there for a minute, like it's gonna stay, and you
How
can't
do you
just.
not know? And he knew it was there?
He did not know it was there.
How? How do you not know there's something stuck to your body?
I mean,
Listen, at
nicotine
that point
patches
in
are
time,
like that though.
at that point in time, I mean, if you're that, you know, absent-minded, I mean, whatever, you deserve it.
Take the warning labels off of everything.
You know, like, come on now.
That's so funny though. Like that's I mean, I agree with your sentiment because that is absolutely take the warning labels off of shit. Because if you're trying to blow dry your hair and you're in the shower, like you kind of all right, we could use the resources in the space. I get it, but isn't that sacrificing?
We still got to go back to survival of the fittest at some point in time, right? You can't keep. I know this is going to sound bad, but there's a lot of people that, I mean, listen, it's just nature taking its course.
Absolutely, we all know.
Whether it's the iPods or listening to the fucking radio and while you're in the bath or whatever the case is, like nature's taking its course.
But they're gonna argue, you know, getting it's all that shit is done for liability reasons. They don't care about. They're not warning the people because they care about the outcome. They're literally warning them so they don't get sued. That's the only reason.
Yep.
They don't care about the outcome. Like even the courts don't care. They're like, oh, did they? So when that person, those first people, because I'm sure it had to happen more than once. But when those people got electrocuted from doing exactly that, like, did anybody go to jail? No. So it's not a crime to murder somebody. It was really just they don't want to get sued civilly. Like what? That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. Like,
And that's the whole thing too. The separation, like for example, United States and Canada. In the United States, you can sue for fucking everything. Up here, it's a bit different. But I mean, somebody looks at you the wrong way and hurts your feelings, you're taking them to court. I've watched shows about this where people make a living off of, you know, 8 months, 10 months in advance, booking an airline flight, requesting a special meal because they know when it comes time, 10 months later, they're not going to get that meal, and then they sue the airline. That's how they make a living.
I mean, there's all types of like, you know, in that scenario, there's all types of hustles that work in that sense. Like there's a YouTube channel. It's like, I think it's called Unethical Ways to Make Money, 101 maybe, and it's that's exactly what it is. It's just finding all the loopholes and going, all right, this is how it's done. But they'll plug those holes as people get aware of them. Like they'll be like, hey, we're losing too much money. We gotta get rid of this. And then, so I just found out something that really fucked me up. Actually, there was a so the Disney cruise ships that had what was it, 40 people arrested? Did you hear about that?
The pedophile cruise ships.
Yes. So like, yo, the thing that got me about it was like I didn't know that none of the ships, like there's not a passenger, like a large scale passenger ship that's made in America or under the American flag. They all go under the Bahamas so that they don't have investigations into like what happens on the ship. It's that's the Bahamas. Like they're in charge of the safety and the investigations and so on. America has no jurisdiction on them, even though it's Americans. So, that shit's there's a good reason for that. You know, they be doing shit on them ships.
They follow the same lineage as like the shell companies and, you know, avoiding taxes, et cetera. It's and the thing is, right? This is what I think. If everybody could educate themselves, you could do what they do. No, I'm not talking about sacrificing people.
I was like, I don't wanna.
No, I'm not down with the sacrifice. But what I'm saying in terms of making money and avoiding paying money, you could do what they do. You just gotta learn the fucking the routes.
I mean, yeah, but like, so do we want to pull the Trump card essentially and go, so everybody else is doing this tax thing where I made $1 billion that year and I paid $400 in tax, and so everybody else, they go, oh well, all you need is a tax guy, and so they stop paying taxes as well. Like, well, one, I fucking hate taxes, so I'm not really advocating taxes. What I'm saying is that they were asking him about it and why, you know, you think that's right? You're a businessman, blah blah blah. This is how you run it. And he goes, look, if you guys change it, if you guys change the law, then sure, I'll abide by that. But as long as there's a loophole, like they're all doing it, so I'm gonna do it. That still hasn't been fixed.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, that's on us though. That's on us. We
And unfortunately, we're in a time where they've done a lot of illegal shit, and they're just changing the laws to make it legal, so that there's no repercussions later on when people find out what they were doing.
Yep.
And it's, listen, I could say it like this: when I had Prodigy's sister on the podcast, she pretty much summed it up like, listen, the system is the system. You're not going to change it. You just got to find ways to work around it. And that's all. That's really what we're all doing. We're trying to find ways to work around it and make it work. We're all scrambling for that crumb,
I'm an idealist. Like I feel like, I hate to be an idealist because a lot of times it's to depart from reality. But like the thing is like, I just want it. I want the systems not to be the way they are, and the only way to do that is to go, all right, well, guys, we gotta start from scratch. How much chaos that causes and what kind of shit, that's another story. But like, I just don't feel like, going, you know what, fuck it, we can't change it, so we can't do anything about it. That's apathy, and I can't live in apathy. I have to live in this, the hope that we're gonna go, all right, this is fucked up. Like Italy just did it. Okay, so Italy, they decided that not paying taxes one year was not enough. Like they were like, no, we're not gonna do that because that's then we're individually and we're not a whole. They decided, and that's what they're doing right now. Actually, I think they just ended it, but it was 30 days. Nobody did anything, and when I say didn't do anything, they went and got their groceries. That was gonna, set them up for a month, and then they didn't do anything. They didn't go to work. They didn't go to eat. They didn't go nothing. They stayed at home for 30 days, and because they were pretty much protesting the digital IDs. And like, look, we do not want them in our country. We're not going to have them because the government was like, yeah, this is the new mandate, and they said no, and it actually worked. Like they said, okay, it worked for now, I'll say, because they're gonna push them in some way, but it did work, and it made them pull back that mandate. That mandate's gone. The same way that either we're gonna do nothing altogether, or we're gonna do something altogether. That's the only options. Otherwise, you're just waiting. You're just biding your time, which is not long before shit goes bad. Like, before martial law, essentially. Like, I believe that's where we're at with an authoritarian government that we have. Like, it happens all the time. Like,
it's coming. And the whole goal is to create such civil unrest. And shout out to 50 Shades of Mandy. She just tuned in. She's definitely down the rabbit hole with us. We have an episode with her where we went down the rabbit hole about Disney and the pedophiles and shit. And that's the direction they're going, is civil unrest so they can instill martial law and take complete control of everybody. And people need to wake up and realize that that's what they're doing. Listen, most people don't hate people. But what they're doing is they're driving that wedge with misinformation because they know people are eating it up, and you just got to get out there and have a conversation with people and realize that, we all have a common ground, we all have a common bond, and they're using these tactics against us so that they can achieve their goal.
Dude, that's exact 100%. I agree with all that. Although I'll put a little caveat on there. Since we're in the tinfoil hat territory, I'm gonna throw this out there. There's a video of a company that's out of Europe that has they're a meat cloning facility. Most of the meat that you're eating right now, it's a lot of the meat that we're eating right now is cloned. They have, you go to the butcher, like you go to like your local grocery store and you go there, it's probably not gonna be it's not gonna be one cow. Like you think that it's one cut. They're using meat glue and all this shit to make it look like steaks, and it's believable. But yeah, no. So like, it was a video of this. It's a plant in Europe that actually produces. They clone meat. It was like, okay, so how much do you clone every year? And it's like, it was somewhere in the 60 tons or some shit like that. And then they go, so what kind of meat is it? Is it like a cow? Is it like pig? Is it a combination? He's like, well, it's human meat. Wait, what? Wait, what? Yeah, it's human meat. So that it's something that we know the biology of really well, and we can we've got how much medicine and science on that versus a cow. Like, yeah, we got a lot, but we got a lot more on people. So that's why we use human stuff. And then he was like, well, where do you distribute to? He's like, I mean, everywhere, like all over the place. That's
I think, and this is why I stay away from fast food chains. I think people are consuming a lot more things that if they really knew they were consuming, they would never eat there again. Because, for example, the amount of burgers that McDonald's produces on a daily basis, the math doesn't math
doesn't matter. I mean,
at all.
we eat a lot of McDonald's. We eat a lot of these fast food, and it's just McDonald's. Like when I was doing the numbers, I was like, because I ran through it, and because I had to figure out if it was true. And so there's our information that we have access to, other people's estimates, other countries' estimates of our supply of beef versus others is different than ours. Here locally, if you look it up on Google, like how many cows are produced every year, and it'll tell you an amount that is possible to make that amount of burgers. But if you look at any other country and you look at our numbers, they are not the same. They're like, no, they produce about half of what it would take. So I don't know why ours is different. I don't get it.
Even if you look at the way our wheat is grown, for example, in comparison to Europe, it's just the more you know, the better you can eat, because this is why, like, for example, I've always been on this thing that no, I don't eat seafood anyways because I'm one of those people I associate smells and I can't stand the smell of seafood, so I don't eat it. But factually speaking, lobster, shrimp, crab, they're bottom feeders. There's people out there that eat different types of carp. They're bottom feeders.
Yeah.
So essentially, you're eating shit.
Catfish too.
Yeah, bottom feeders.
Yeah. But so
and,
I mean,
and
yeah.
If you can learn about this stuff, I think okay, take away the aspect of things being lab produced. At least you can start getting towards staying away from the filth. Okay, so now you're on this. Now you can start resourcing better, and at least going to farms that sell straight from the farm, and start at least getting some type of organic beef, which, like we were saying earlier, nothing's really organic anymore because of the chemicals.
Yeah.
But at least you can start cleansing your body to a degree.
Yes, as much as you possibly can, given the environment, given the possibilities. Like, because I mean, honestly though, for us to get a cow, like we've looked into it multiple times, trying to buy, a half a cow, a whole cow, like just looking at what it costs, and the cost is so insane. It's not like a little bit more expensive. It's like 10 times more expensive. And if you look at the price of meat right now, it's still 10 times more expensive.
Yep.
So like
there's a saying that I live by when we go to the store. So number one, we live in the countryside. So I don't like to go to grocery stores. We like to rely on markets and etc. But if you go to a grocery store, avoid the center of the grocery store. You want to buy the stuff that is refrigerated, the stuff, the fruits, the vegetables, and the stuff that is frozen, because that's the stuff that at least has some level of expiration to it. All this canned stuff and packaged stuff, there's no expiry to it.
Right.
So you got to think about what you're consuming, that this food has no expiry to it. It's fucking crazy.
It's just preservatives. What? It tastes good and it's preservatives, man. Like, it's not addictive. They don't have food scientists that actually, that is their job, is to get people to, like, literally to trick people. Like, why are you gonna, like, to make that believable, that like Taco Bell, what was it? It was 40% meat that was actually in it, and the rest was like, yo, you're feeding what to people, and it's less than half of it. Like, legally, can you call that meat? Like, so the same thing though. My wife though, I will say this. This was one offshoot to that. My wife said she wanted to, like, I told her about all this, and I told her about that video that I had seen, and it's possible that there's human meat in the in the fast food, and she was like, okay, that sucks. was like,
Yeah.
you can still eat there? She was like, yeah. It's like, wait. If you really thought that you could eat it, and she's like, I mean, I'm not gonna not eat it until I know for sure, but until then, like, what do you want me to do? But, like, that's people. Doesn't matter. Like, and I think that is a representation of how most people will be when finding out, like, apathetic. It's like, what can I do? Like, I'm still gonna eat out, so, all right.
Yeah, I prefer a different version of eating out, but you know, that's
Facts are the facts.
You know, that's the organic shit right there.
But these people, okay, so it's not, it's more expensive to eat organically, and that's the thing, is that a lot of people can't afford it. And like right now, if you don't have a garden of some type, and I'm just being real, like if you don't have some type of fucking garden, like to grow just a minimal amount of food, you're very vulnerable to some very hard times that are right around the corner. Like they've still got the Strait of Hormuz closed. I don't know if doesn't seem like anybody's caring, because the longer that stays closed, the longer there will be a lack of food for that amount of time, probably multiplied. So have a garden, learn how to garden, you guys, and start them now.
Even at that, you know, if you have your own garden, is it enough to last a full cycle?
If you actually, like, you know, if you actually dedicate some time, it's learning it
Now
and doing it.
again, you're in a different climate, right? We're up here, we got, let's say, max 6 months to get everything, you know, grown and harvest, and then after that, that's it. So, you know, if you garden, your best bet is to, you know, associate with other people that garden, so you can mass grow this and you can trade with some of that.
Yeah.
Which is going back to the old times, which is how they used to operate.
It's the bartering system. That's how it should be. I mean, I'm not going to charge you for that unless everybody wants that, and then the commodity goes up. So then it's so they create. It just ends up creating currency again, though. Like that's the thing that's so funny about it, because it's like, hey, how many pigs are worth? How many potatoes are these pigs worth? I got 2 pigs. How many potatoes can I get? Like it becomes a game, like when you say bartering, who's better at the trade?
Yeah.
And then there becomes, oh well, I'll owe you a little bit of this because like 1 pig isn't really worth that, you know, that potato, so I'll owe you this. How can we do it? Oh, here's a little symbol that says I owe you that amount.
That's it. So once again, you know, you go back to, is it just a repeat cycle?
I think so.
Where if you go back to this, then you start going down that path of you exchange, but now because this is much more desirable than this, okay, now I can make a little bit more of this, so I charge a currency of it, and then you just end up right back to, over the years, getting to where we are right now.
That's it. That's the craziest cycle of life. Like it doesn't matter. Like if say there were a whole society 12,000 years ago during the Younger Dryas, like when the last mini ice age happened 12,000 years ago. What if it was, you know, what if there's a society that had been around? How long has society been around? I mean, if you're really thinking about it, 10,000, 20,000 years? Okay, that's, what if a society made it to, you know, let's say 50,000 years, 100,000 years, like a whole society, the knowledge that we've acquired in this short period of time, I mean, again, it comes back to that thing. When they invent shit, they're going to say 2 things immediately. Can I fuck it? Or can I kill somebody with it? So, like, that's pretty much what's going to happen is, like, we're going to find technology, like, that's greater than our knowledge. And I think that's what happened to societies all throughout. Like, there could have easily been, Mars could have been populated at one point. We would not possibly know. Like, it happened, you know, 5 million years ago. Nope.
You know, unfortunately too, civilization took that a little too serious with can I fuck it, because they be fucking some shit that they should not be fucking.
Yes, 100%.
I'm gonna tell you a story. So, are you familiar with Top Gear?
With who?
Top Gear, the show Top Gear.
You went super quiet again. me see. Maybe it's my glass. No, should be good. So go ahead.
So, are you familiar with the show Top Gear?
Huh.
It's a car show out of England. So essentially over
Oh,
politics.
Top Gear. My bad. Yes.
Top Gear,
Top
yeah.
Gear. Yeah.
So, you know how they started, the original cast of Top Gear started their own show called, what's the name of the show? I forget the name of it, but they started their own show because of politics, whatever. They got fired. Or they quit, whatever the case was.
Yeah.
So, and this is going back to people fucking what they shouldn't be fucking. So, I was watching an episode of the Grand Tour, that's what it's called, the Grand Tour, right? And so they were filming an episode in Colombia. And my wife is sitting next to me over here, and she's already fucking laughing at this, like, really, you're gonna tell the story again? And so what happened was they were filming this episode in Colombia, and they were up on the coast, and they seen this dude in the bush, and they zoomed in on him, and he was fucking a donkey. So I was watching this with my wife, because my wife's from Colombia.
Yeah.
I asked her, I was like, yo, do they fuck donkeys in Colombia? And she's like, yeah, they up on the coast, they fuck donkeys. It's part of a ritual thing when you're a teenager, that, you know, your first fuck should be a donkey because the tightness of the donkey helps give you a bigger dick. That's the myth, right?
Yeah. Is it though? Damn it, is it? I can't risk it. I need to go fuck a donkey. What?
So that's going back to, you know, fucking things we shouldn't be fucking because, you know, all these teenagers out there on the coast, their first fuck is a donkey.
That's that. Unfortunately, I'm also from a place where fucking animals is not unheard of.
Puerto Rico?
Right. No, right here in Crestview, Florida.
The United States of America.
America. That's America. All right. You say it with respect. They no. There's a dude that when we first moved here, they were talking about this. He had fucked sheep, and you know, you can get that story, but then to have his mom on the news, like there, and that video still exists. I cannot find it anymore, but if you do find it, send it to me, because it is her like going, well, you know, I told him not to go down there. He's done it before, and we just told him he needed to stop fucking them sheep. Like, and she's saying it with all like sincerity, and it's like, dude, what the? No, man, like what's that's a known problem in the fam. So there was, I mean, man, there was T-shirts. Boss still means no, like, so everywhere, because that shit is hilarious. But also, there was a year later, or 2 years later actually, there's a dude that got caught fucking a horse. I was like, dude, what the fuck? So I'm from an area evidently that they still do that.
They fuck horses?
Evidently. That seems fucking dangerous.
It seems super dangerous actually. Bestiality, yeah. Actually, there was a porn star that was famous for that fucking horse.
Yeah, then he died. His name's Mr. Hands. It's fucking hilarious. Like, his name's Mr. Hands. Don't look those videos up. It is not.
There was a female. There was a female too.
Oh, what?
Why would you want to look that up on your phone?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Because now we live in a time where if you look up one thing, that's all that pops.
That was that lesson. That's what I said. Some things you see, you can't unsee. Like, that's the lesson that when my son, I took him on a trip for his 18th birthday. I said, we can go anywhere you want to go in the country. We'll drive there. You know, we'll do whatever. And while we were on the trip or whatever, I said, is there anything that I said when you was growing up that, you know, like really stuck, and when it happened, you were like, yep, Dad said it was gonna be like this. And he goes, without even skipping a beat, like he didn't even have to think about it. He goes, some things you see you can't unsee. I was like, you ain't gotta say anything else to me, son, because I know that in the age of the internet, like, yo, your kids have access to being able to see anything, especially once they get to a certain age. Like you're not gonna tell a 16-year-old boy that he's not gonna figure out how to figure anything out. Like if you put parental locks or anything. So like, yeah, no, he said that, and he didn't even gotta say anything, because that's exactly why I told him it. That's what the context was perfect. Because like the internet, like when I was a kid, you know, the worst thing that you could see was like rotten.com, and it was like, you know,
Yeah.
it was like the people's like Kurt Cobain's autopsy photos, or crime scene photos, like things like that. Like you could see like death in some way. Some things that you see on the internet now, like you could see anybody do anything. Like I've got shit that's fucking, you know, seared in, and I wish it wasn't. Like I don't get creeped out very easily. I don't get, you know, like I can see a bunch of shit and it doesn't affect me in the, you know, it's fine. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. Man, some of that shit, one specifically is like, you know, somebody getting skinned alive for real. No,
Yeah.
no, but that's available there, and that's some shit that you can't unsee. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? Like,
You know what's fucked up when you go back to things you cannot see, and going back to like an early age. I remember when I was probably 9, 10 years old, the first time I actually seen somebody killed. Um, this lady, she was waiting at the bus stop, and she was outside the bus stop. So like, say you got the bus stop here, she was kind of standing right here, and a guy was driving. Apparently he was drunk. He went up on the fucking curb, hit her, and I seen all this happen. And 9 years old, 10 years old, like this fucking sticks in your head. This is why I view things a lot differently. She was kind of laid out on the hood like this. The guy plowed through the whole bus stop with her on the hood, plowed into this massive fucking tree, and she was pinned between the tree and the car, dead. And to this day, if I go back to where I grew up, there's still a big fucking chunk of bark missing from that tree where she was plowed into the tree. And yeah, man, there's things that unfortunately in life people see certain things and you carry with you through the rest of your days. And it gives you, like in my sense, it's kind of a harsh sense of reality of what can really happen out there. So it creates a certain level of numbness to death, where, okay, now it doesn't really affect you to a certain level.
I was exposed pretty young just because of events. Like, and certain people, the hardest thing you've ever been through is the hardest thing you've ever been through, whether that's, the craziest of situations and circumstances to, the one in the Beverly Hills. It's like, yeah, they got my name wrong on my fucking coffee. Can you fucking believe this shit? Like, that's the worst thing that's happened to them in their fucking life, like it matters. But a lot of people at some point in their life, like just based on the numbers and the possibilities, the chances, are gonna see some shit they can't unsee.
So going back to putting the wrong name on the cup of coffee, right? So do you remember maybe 5 years ago there was this drill rapper, this little white kid named Slim Jesus.
Sounds familiar.
Really fucking whack shit, like 100%. So
Yeah.
anyways, I went into a Starbucks on break, and they're like, okay, can we get a name for the cup? I was like, Slim Jesus. They're like, we're not writing that down. I'm like, but I'm telling you the name, Slim Jesus. Just because I was just watching the video, I was laughing about it, so I was like, I'm gonna tell them the name. Like, we're not putting that down. I'm like, fuck you guys.
Why not? Come on, man. Like, that shit is.
Come on, I'm Slim. I could be Jesus looking.
I could be him, Jesus. You know me.
You know?
I don't know. I think people take their authority. I think it's really funny, like what is it called? The Stanford experiment, where they made students they made like 6 students cops and 6 students prisoners, and they made a false prison, and then the ones that were playing the cops ended up abusing the other students, and these are all just students, but they get that role, and immediately, like by the weekend, it was like, I think it was only 3 days in that they lasted, because it was like, whoa, all right, it's getting crazy, because like obviously the other students are like, fuck you, you're not telling me what to do. They're like, no, you have to treat it like it's a real situation, you're the guard. So pretty much that's how society is, like with the whole mask thing and her getting harassed, like people take their authority, like if they have any authority over you, they're going to use it. Like when I forget my ID and I got a pack of cigarettes, I'm trying to buy a pack of cigarettes, they're like, I need your ID. I have gray hairs, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure, and like I can fucking, like I have a kid that can buy these for me, so stop playing. I appreciate the compliment, I guess, but give me fucking cigarettes. I ain't got my fucking wallet on me. Stop playing.
Well, like that's the difference between today's times. Like I remember back when I was a kid. So my parents are from the east coast of Canada, and we would go down there for the summertime. You know, I was born and raised in Toronto, and we would go to Newfoundland for the summertime. And you know, you could send your fucking 8-year-old kid to the corner store to get some cigarettes, some beer or whatever for the parents, right? And it's like no harm, no foul. But now it's just everything is so by the fucking book that it's really created a very tense society, and that tension just shines through in every sense of the manner. That like people, you know, they need to fucking, you know, relax a little bit, stop being so uptight. Like not everything is more than what it seems.
But not only that, but like just what authority do you think that you have over another human being when you're not like? I understand when somebody's actually doing something that is a problem, but that's not the same as like, shit. I mean, there's been a number of times, but I'm just gonna use the COVID thing. Like I was in Atlanta, like I'd gone to Atlanta for a concert that was happening, and I didn't even have a mask with me because like we didn't wear them in Florida, so like it wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
And I go there, and everywhere I went, they were like, "Did you have a mask?" No, I don't have one. Well, then you can't come in. Like you can't, obviously can't come in. I'm like, but it doesn't. You know the logic here, right? Like we've already gone over this. Nope, did not matter. You know, and that type of authority that you give people to say that they can't do anything, even strangers going up to your wife and go like saying anything, like what the fuck? Who the fuck are you? Like
Yeah,
just,
exactly. Who the fuck do you think you are?
I don't give a fuck.
And the whole thing is, when it comes to authority, people flex it on people that they feel that physically they can overcome.
Yeah.
They never flex it upon people that they think like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna fare too well against them.
You're not about to do that shit. You're about to go. Yeah, nah. You know what? I don't think it's that big of a deal. Mind your own fucking business.
That's yeah. It's fucking crazy. And you know how many situations I got into. So, you know, when it goes to the shots, no shots. Like, listen, I don't give a fuck. You took a shot. You didn't take a shot. That's your choice. I don't care. I'm not gonna judge you upon it. I got really good friends that took the shots. It doesn't fucking create anything different. But, you know, so many people are like, oh, if you didn't take the shot, oh my God, I don't know if I can associate with you. And it really drove a fucking wedge for no fucking reason. People that were cool for fucking 30 years, now all of a sudden because you didn't stick a needle in your fucking arm, I can't associate with you?
Yeah.
It's fun, and so many times, like I never took the shit because I was like, listen, there's not enough to back up a reason why I should take it, so I'm not taking it. And I was pressed a lot, even for example with my work. Oh, you should really take a shot because the way things are going, unless you take the shot, you're not going to be able to work. I'm like, cool. I know how to build a shelter. I know how to hunt. I know how to fucking gut and kill an animal. I'm
Right.
good. There's nothing you can fucking take from me. And I think that that's what the human civilization is missing. If you could learn those survival skills, they can't really force anything upon you because you're going to know how to survive. What's the stat? Like 80% of the people, if shit really hit the fan, they'd be dead within a few weeks.
Well, yeah, we got just the you know, when it comes to just the freaking when it comes to just the electricity. If the electricity is off for more than if the electricity is off for more than 30 days, then we lose 80% of the populace. That's 30 days. That's 80% of us all dead because what? The food is gone in 6 days. The like all food that's possible if a group doesn't take the store, which they will. Like, but if they don't, then you have 6 days of food that's going to be on the shelves. So then, what about when the water? Water pumps are not working, anything like that. Where are you getting your water from? You got a fresh water source somewhere near you? I have no idea. Well then, you're kind of fucked. Like.
Yeah.
All of those things, like it's so delicate, like, so that's one of the parts of the book as well is there's the conspiracies, and then there is just how fragile this civilization and humanity as a whole really is. Like, we are floating
Well-
through space, going how far, how fast. There's any number of like astrological, cosmological things that can happen. There's things that we can do ourselves. Like, it's 1,000 ways to die. Only the entire civilization, every single day.
But like conspiracies are always typically rooted in some form of fact.
Yes. Like, a
And-
lot of the
and
ones that we
that's-
consider conspiracies aren't even conspiracies. They're just, it's like, that's fucked up. That's a way of us saying it's
Yeah.
fucked up.
It's real fucked up. So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I seen a video the other day, and it was this woman from China, and statistically, the years and the governments I don't have correct, but essentially she was saying, so China at this point was, say, 500 million people, and then within 50 years of the new government with the one baby rule, apparently the population grew to like 5 something billion. And she's like, mathematically, none of that makes sense. Where are all these people coming from? Because mathematically, at this point, you would have had, each woman would have had to have had, 4.7 to 5 point something kids. So let's just say 4 kids. With the one baby rule, mathematically, you can't reach that fucking whatever billion amount of people.
Yeah.
So, do you think that they're lying about population statistics?
So, I haven't met 500 million people. I haven't met I've probably met or seen in my life, like, I've seen a fuck ton of people. I've seen 100,000 people in one place. But how many people have you actually seen? I don't know. How many do you know that wasn't a repeat? How many know, like, we don't know anything for sure, but we have to take some things and go, okay, like, it's a level of openness for me. So if you're 100% open to ideas and anything, then it's easy to change your mind. Essentially, you're like, oh yeah, okay, that's cool, and you'll go with almost anything. Then being completely closed-minded is obviously, you're going to be only thinking in one way and it doesn't work out. So being in the middle there, I have to say that I have to believe some things are true, just for reality to work, for the things to work. Because if that's the case, that there's not that many people, then when you talk about, I don't know, let's say a song coming out, and it gets, 2 billion streams in 30 days, it's like, damn, how many people listen to that song? Because I've never even heard this fucking guy. Like, that happened with me in NBA YoungBoy, because I was not on. I was not listening. I didn't know even until I knew. And I was like, he's the #1 selling artist, like, over Drake, over everybody. I was like, really? I don't know a single fucking song. That's insane to me. Same thing with, what was it, Bad Bunny. Like, I didn't, I'd heard some of his tracks, or I'd heard him featured on some shit, but I didn't look into him at all. Like, I didn't know. And then I look at how many times the songs have been done, like, played, and I'm like, either there's a small amount of people listening to that all day, every day, or there's that many people in the world, and of course now being less naive about how streaming works, and going, oh, because a lot of it's bots. I got you. Like, that makes way more sense.
And that's exactly what I was just about to say. Is so we did a listening party episode for Lefty Pacino's new album, and that came out on Saturday past. And so I was doing my typical promo during the week, right? And each promo I was putting up was getting 10+ thousand views, and I was like, shit, this is really getting momentum. So something I'm big into is statistics. I always look at the insights to see countries, age ranges, etc. Right?
Yeah.
So I started looking at the profiles that were viewing it, and I was like, half the shit's bots. So once again, going back to the stats are not even real stats.
They're the vanity metrics. That's exactly what they are.
Yeah.
They're vanity metrics, and that's why, that's why you have to be, when it comes to, so that's what my degree is in. Like, I just graduated like a month ago or so with my bachelor's, and it was for business and marketing. And marketing, most of it is knowing the numbers, knowing what they mean, and how to boost each. And like, the real deal is, like, people are susceptible to societal triggers, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, they are, something will say organic, so they're willing to pay a higher price, even though when you turn each product over, you can tell that, oh, well, they were made with the same shit. Like, you know, it's just a label, but, or you make something green and it changes their whole perception of it, versus if that product was blue, like, it doesn't tell shit. So, like,
Yeah.
it's societal triggers, and a lot of people are unaware of anything, why they do a lot of things, and it's confusing on the numbers themselves, like the analytics. When it comes to
Yeah.
like saying that it says that my second most popular demographic is Australia, and like I'm like, okay, that's interesting, because like I know quite a few people in Australia, but I know a lot of people in Germany, like for say, that never comes
Yeah.
up on my statistics barely at all, but I know that they saw the show, and I'm like, huh. So what the hell's going on here? I think that they are manipulating it in ways that they think you're going to be relevant to you. Like, because I don't talk to as many people in Germany. I just know a lot of people. Whereas in Australia, I talk to them on a pretty regular basis. And so, like, I think that it was just like, oh, this is who you want to be your audience. Here you go. That's where that other number's coming from. So I think they just manipulate the game. I think that it's all manipulated, and they are, social media specifically is nothing more than an advertising company with extra steps. Like, they're like,
Yeah. Now that being said, do you think you need to, if they're steering you towards a certain demographic, right?
yeah,
Regardless if that demographic is currently what's tuning into you, if that's the direction they're steering you, do you think you need to cater towards that? Or do you just keep doing what you're doing? Like, for example, since the very beginning of all this, when I started the Cigar Talk Toronto shit, the demographic has always been the United States. 52% United States. The next thing lower than that is like 9% Canada. So for me, that's believable, because, you know, the amount of people that I've had on the show, you know, all American artists.
Yeah.
So I understand that, right? It could be a legit statistic. Now let's just say if it's not, if that's what it's showing you, is that the demographic you want to start leaning towards to ensure maximum listenership and viewership to what you're doing?
I feel like if you don't stay, because I can run a marketing campaign in Australia, and I can find out pretty quickly what who's actually biting and who's not, because like you can look through your analytics and be like, okay, so if I run a marketing campaign, especially through Meta or through Google, so YouTube, then you know when you put that budget, you put that demographic into you do a test, you test that market and another market, and you go, okay, what's the variation, and if it's, if they're not actually converting, meaning becoming listeners or whatever, you're gonna see it in your analytics from your YouTube or from your page. So there's a way to test it, and that's why I think that marketing, although everybody, because they're told that oh yeah, this is marketing. It's like how much you see of marketing is that iceberg above and below analogy, because like you see the advertisement, you see the analytics, looking at that, you see all these things, but like marketing is a lot more planning and doing all this. Everybody that runs their own show or is an artist, they typically, they're looking at what they're given, and what they're given is the analytics by the platform, and they have no way of measuring it. I got a buddy that he uses AI for all of his marketing. He's like, oh yeah, it's got me, like ChatGPT's got me, and I was like, all right, but you don't know what questions to ask.
So I'm going to talk to you in a second about the AI, but I've been holding this for like fucking half an hour at least. I gotta go piss. I'm going to pass the mic real quick to my wife. She's off camera having a cigar.
All right.
And if you want to talk about Colombians fucking donkeys, go for it.
Done. Subject.
but I'll be back in 2 seconds, and I'm going to talk to you about AI and music.
All right. I'm about it. So
I don't know what's his brain for you.
Good. We're going straight into donkey fucking. All right. So now, so is it known amongst everybody though? Like, that is a question I guess I had.
No, it's just on the coast.
Just on the coast. Is there
Yes,
like
on the
a
coast.
like what about the people that are not along the coast that are like are they like they're a bunch of donkey fuckers?
Uh, yeah, we call them comeurras, which you understand what that means.
No, I don't.
So, no, you don't? Well, it's like donkey eater, like,
That's
donkey fucker,
dude,
whatever it is.
that's so that is I mean
But it's fade out, and it's been more like fade out because it's more like I thought it was a myth, to be honest with you. I'm from the capital, and I thought this was all just a way of category, putting them in a category, right?
yeah.
But I did not know that it was actually real until I got older.
I
And I
mean
was like, oh, fuck, like, why?
yeah, I mean dudes will do almost anything for a bigger dick. It's just one of those things where it's like that's why dick holes
I do, yes, now that I am like about 40, I do believe that.
I'm saying, absolutely every time. It's a matter of pride. If you have the ability to, why would you not? You can't. There's very few dudes that'll go. If you say that, I want to. So I got this
Wanna
pill.
take enlargement?
Yeah, I got a pill for you. You want to try it? It's like, well, yeah, man. Fuck it. Like, I guess I could. I mean, it's not gonna hurt anything. Nobody's gonna deny extra dick. Like,
Hold on, let me put you
yeah, yeah.
That's a fact. It doesn't matter how, and the funny thing, there's been a lot of death from men trying to get enlargements. And again, it's going back to women like they'll be like, oh, if I could get some extra tit, and mine are big enough, I'm okay with that. But with dudes, it doesn't matter how big you are. If you can get extra dick, you're taking it.
Absolutely, every single time. Every single time. It's just the way it is. Like,
Yep.
it's not gonna hurt anything, right? Right? All right. Well, yeah. And it's there's a whole industry based around it. I mean, like, even if you don't, it just hit that. Like, I don't know if it was the marketing. Like, they just hit every single thing. Like, emails back in the day. That's all it was fucking. It's like, yo, I didn't look anything about this up. I've never clicked on an ad or an email or said anything about it. Yet still. So it had to be a big enough thing for them to go, hey, you send 1,000 emails, or you send 100,000 emails out, you're gonna get some bites.
Yeah.
It's like we had back in the day. One of our scams was, did you win the lottery? You won the lottery in Nigeria, and what was it? A Nigerian prince. He just needs they're gonna transfer you the money, but they gotta make sure it's a good bank account. So like, you send your bank information over here, and we'll make sure everything's just right. People fall for some shit though.
You know what's funny is I don't know. I watch a lot of random shit on YouTube. Recently I've been watching. So there's a lot of those scams out coming from India, right? And fucking they'll send the emails and fucking it's like Geek Squad, whatever, and they'll get into your accounts, whatever. So I've been watching a lot of videos of hackers hacking the scammers and taking all their fucking money and shit like that.
Yes.
And I don't know why I started watching that shit recently, but I did, and it's just like, I don't know, I fall asleep to that shit.
Yes, absolutely. I do the service. Like, I do my community service through whenever they call my phone, I will sit there and just like I will fuck with them for as long as possible. Like, as long as possible. I will keep them on the phone as long as possible, just to fuck with them. Like, the longer they're talking to me, the less they're talking to some random old person. So like, I'll just fuck with them. Like, I love just randomly taking the phone and be like, hey, so blah blah blah, whatever their hustle is, whatever they say, it's like, all right, yeah. Well, I don't actually need the health insurance, but my brother does. Oh, really? Okay. So I just go and like put the phone down, make some sounds in the background, pick it back up.
AI and music. So I'm gonna tell you a story. The past few months I've connected with somebody. He's out of Queensbridge, and he's part of the Mob Deep Infamous Mob clique, right? And unfortunately, he got locked up. He's been in for about 24 years now. And he started making music from, he's locked up in Attica, so he started making music from his cell, right? So essentially what he does is, he's not R. Kelly, you know, you don't got millions of dollars, you can fucking put all this shit together, right?
Yeah.
So what he does is he essentially, you know, I guess, you know, records his lyrics through the phone, and then they use AI
Yep.
to refine it and everything like that. Now, shout out to Ariel B. He's I just posted one of his tracks on my page. Go check that out. He, you know, in that sense, I understand AI and music, right? Because now you have, and this is a perfect example of, you know what, if you're in society, there's no excuse to you not being able to do something. If this man that's locked up for 24 fucking years can make something happen, then anybody outside can fucking make something happen.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to AI, you know, I know some people have been using it for beat making and shit like that. You know, you input certain things, whatever, and then the AI makes the beat. Do you think there's like a fine line between AI being okay and not okay when it comes to music?
Absolutely. Like I think that, and it's not okay. So I'm gonna say this because I'm a big, I'm actually a proponent of AI music. I don't have any problems with AI music because there's actually some fucking jams, some banging ass songs that would not exist if not for AI. And that's where it's like, yo, first off, I'm a fan. Before I'm an artist, before I'm a, you know, label owner, before I'm even a platform, you know, a provider, like, I don't think I'm a fan. Like, I'm just a fan, like, of every genre of music, almost every. And so if AI comes out with a song and I'm like, fuck that shit jams, like that shit fucks, then I don't care. I don't care who produced it, and I don't think that the most of the people are going to. Like, I don't think that most of the, I mean, 97% of people can't tell the difference between AI and a musician anyway. When I hear AI music though, I can tell the difference fully. Like it's actually because I know how to make, like I produce, I got a studio, like I actually have done this.
Yeah.
So like, is there a point where it's not cool? Yeah, when you say that it's you and it's not you. Like you have to be upfront with everybody. So if you don't like it, cool. Like that means that you just don't like that in your music. Now, when it comes to OwnLane, like my own platform here, that's ownln.com. Selfless plugs.
You gotta get the plug.
You gotta get the plug in whenever it comes up, naturally.
And that's something I'm learning along the way. You gotta get the plugs in. Shout out to Big Einstein, Eddie, Love and Loyalty, Infamous, Lefty Pacino, Ron Bridge, fucking Croatian Mafia Cigars. You gotta plug everybody that's with you along the way. Shout out to Lestat, Shadowworks Entertainment, Hard Money, fucking Black Silver. Shout out to Queen Jai that's tuning in. She actually just started her own podcast.
Yeah.
So her first guest was Black Silver. So we should connect you guys because I think you would be a good interview for her on her platform as well.
Oh hell yeah! Like, see, I'm all about it. I'm always all about us having you know, like just people like connecting, like, cause all it is, like, that's why I love this. I love going live and doing all that shit because it's just us sitting here shooting the shits. We're just talking about the world, but other people don't know what necessarily our experience or our opinion, and I think that opinion can sometimes, it can give other people the ability to it's the coliseum of ideas, like the battlefield of ideas. Like, if you have a different idea of how shit works, then yo, let me know, because like,
Hey, what happened to T.O. Lestat? Where the fuck did he go?
I said that same thing, and he's like, man, well, I came back on and it wouldn't let me, it couldn't see me, and I couldn't hear me, and y'all couldn't hear me. I was like, yeah.
I started drinking and I fucking completely just realized that. I'm like 4 glasses in, I just realized he's not with us.
It's like, hey, wait, hey, there's somebody else here. That's how people go missing, all right? You need to pay attention. That's how people go missing. He was just right here.
Commercial back in the day, you know, 10, 11 p.m. You know where your children are.
Dude. Well, actually, I was gonna actually say that it's a good time to burn it out. You got your shout outs in. As we go off, we typically go off on a freestyle or on a exclusive track, but I'm actually gonna roll one because we got one that we finished up. Let me see. Where's he at? All right, So it's gonna be the next single coming out on Heist Club. Unless you got a song you want to promote?
Hold on. I got a couple more plugs. So I just did an interview with Voyage Dallas magazine. So you go to voyagedallas.com and check that out. And a track to go out on. I mean, fuck, I could listen to it. I'm not gonna come up with one right now. So whatever you got, you got.
Shit, we will listen to some music. We've got mini strikes, and it is just fine to us because like all we're trying to do is promote, promote new music, good music. That's all we're trying to do.
That's what it's all about. Bringing that real music back.
Yeah. All right. So we got the next single out. This for the Heist Club. It's gonna be coming out. Looks like in probably October is what it looks like. So. But we got the next single from the soundtrack here. It's AWISE, Undercover Cop. Yeah, he's just playing it out. He's playing his role.
All right, let's run it.
It's running. I hear nothing.
I hear nothing either,
I
so
hear
it's not
nothing.
running.
It is not running.
There, wait. There it is.
Yeah.
First off, this is just a job to provide for my family. I'm part of this heist to try and minimize the casualties. This is bad, you see, they all involved with some killers. They rob another dispensary, not some drug dealers. Two of these cats are always out for blood, they really love their drama. They smell the local thugs, keep BMX Osama. And I got this feeling that they just in it to try and take some lives. The ultra-violent types, they bringing guns, they bringing knives. I mean, wise, y'all, and I'm deep undercover. I'm an undercover cop and this the crew that killed my brother. There's a dirty cop involved. Officer Pinsky gonna be mad at me. I'm sure that he'll remember me. We met at the academy. The tragedy will happen if I don't intervene. And I gotta wear a wire man is jobbing for the week. Now I'm back up on the scene and ain't nobody stopping me. Everybody freeze. This is armed robbery. You gotta do what you gotta do in a day's work. Freezes is a heist to get that pay dirt. You gotta do what you gotta do in a day's work. Freezes is a heist to get that pay dirt. Look, Shadow ball me in on this and I would hate to kill him too. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do. Look, I will kill all these fools. I will kill Pinsky too. Shit, if it comes down to it, I'll kill this whole crew. I'm an undercover cop, bitch. I will do my thing and I ain't scared of shit. I'm in the world's biggest gang. My crew got my back and we got all their information. We taking the survivors back for questions at the station for probation. You're about to do some time in fucking prison. This is gonna be bad if it goes how I envision. The system got them twisted and if they don't stand a chance. I got my pistol in my hand, bitch. Now it's time to dance. Come on, you gotta do what you gotta do. Day's work, yeah. Freezes is a heist to get that pay dirt. You gotta do what you gotta do in a day's work. Freezes is a heist to get that pay dirt. You gotta do what you gotta do in a day's work. Come on, freezes is a heist to get that pay dirt. You gotta do what you gotta do in a day's work. Let's go. Freezes is a heist to get that pay dirt. Sing it. Please be with me as these devils try to tempt me. If you're with me, then who can be against me? No one. Please be with me as these devils try to tempt me.
Amen. Do what?
Do we get to talk about that, or is that it?
Yeah. That's
That was dope. Yeah, I like that. I was feeling that.
yeah. AWISE is he's a skilled musician. He's probably live more than anybody I know. As a working musician, like that man's every weekend, during the week multiple times throughout the Panhandle over here, like just working, that's his vocation. He's like, yo, music is gonna be my thing. That's what I'm doing. So let's go. Friday night, Saturday night.
So send them my way, man. Let's put them on the podcast. Let's get them on the radio, and fucking let's do some work, man. Let's network and keep the rise going.
See, I'm about it. I'm always about it. I know he's about it. Like that's one of the.
And
the
you know
ones.
what? I this week I've done a couple podcasts where I've been a guest, and I really appreciate people putting me on the platform, and I fucking enjoy this, man. Let's do it again for sure.
Yo.
I love sitting down, just fucking talking shit, talking real life shit, and I'm down for it whenever you are.
Yeah, man, it's a good conversation. It's like I said, people with like-minded people moving, in the same direction at the same time. Like, it's just good to talk to people and be able to express like whatever the hell's on the mind. Cause like it's interesting. We're similar-minded, and a lot of people that I talk to are pretty much the ones that come on the show. I've never met anybody, maybe one, that was like, it was a difficult conversation. Everybody's like, and I think that most people are probably like that. We just don't spend the time doing it.
That's something I've gathered from the amount of artists that I've had on the show is we're all kind of on the same trajectory in how we view life, the way we want things to be, and that's something that I take serious in terms of being able to put that out there, because if we all have those conversations with people, we'll find out, most people are not here and here, they're kind of in here, and that's where we got to really unite people and start to change the fucking reality of the life we're living.
100%. That is the perfect thing to go out on. Yo, again, we shooting the shits. We got Cigar Talk Toronto Saturday nights. What time? Tell me where to find
Saturday
it.
night, 10 p.m., the Block 105. So you go to www.theblock105.com, or you can download the Live 365 app. You can tune in on the Block Radio on there. Also, the video versions go up on YouTube, Cigar Talk _Toronto. And go back, because we have an episode with yourself, Lestat, as well, The Rabbit Hole, which was a real dope episode, man. I loved the trajectory we went on that one, man. And any chance I get to talk shit about the government, I'm down for it.
Right? Yo, anytime, every time. Appreciate your time. We Audi 5000. If you'll just stay on for just a second, I'm gonna end the live here, and then we'll go after setting.
All right. Peace.
Yeah, that was a good one. And there's lots of good
So
clippables right there. Like that's I think of shit in that terms. Like when it's happening, it's kind of like when doing music. Like when you hear a good take, you're like, yep, that was the one. And so like I'll hear these clips that it's like, oh shit, yeah, it's gonna be a great soundbite.
Do you ever because one thing that I've noticed with myself is, so when I'm doing an episode and I'm having a conversation with somebody, right? So as a host, your role is to lead the conversation. So a lot of times I'm listening, and as I'm listening, I'm formulating the response to keep the conversation going. Now, sometimes, my wife is like, how did that go, whatever. I'm like, as always, it went good, but I don't retain what happened because my focus in the moment is to ensure the conversation.
Yes.
But then, do you ever go back and listen and go, oh shit, yeah, okay, that was a good point, yeah, that was dope, yeah, okay, that was a good job, good episode, whatever. So do you think that going back and reflecting and listening to the episode helps drive you as a host?
Absolutely, like 100%. You have to do that, because if you're like, just think about any sport, like any professional sport. What do? They go back, they watch the tape. Why do they watch the tape?
Yeah.
To improve. If you can write notes and know what, like, be self-aware. Like that's really what it is. You want to be self-aware, and show aware. Like you're still producing a show. So like, what is that show like? So these are the raws, and that's what I call them. They're in one section, and it's like nobody's gonna sit here and watch 2.5 hours of conversation like straight through. They just don't have the time. I get that, but when you edit it down to just the most interesting parts, shit, you're looking at maybe an hour and a half. Like out of this, it'd be like an hour and a half because we had a lot of good shit. But
Yeah.
like you get rid of the ums, the ahs, the pauses, all that shit. Like that's where you go. Okay, well, what's the most clippable parts? Like 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds. You do those and just post those everywhere. Have a whole entire page dedicated to just that.
So, well, here's my question for you, and I'm asking this because, I've only been doing this, roughly a year, right?
Yeah.
And it's a one-man show. So, in terms of reaching out to people, scheduling, filming, editing, promoting, I don't have time to go back and clip shorts. And that's one thing where I know I'm lacking. So pretty much the way I arrange it is, the hour of the podcast is dedicated to the blog radio because that's where, the success is, right?
Yeah.
Now, I still put the video version up on YouTube. Sometimes they go beyond the hour,
Yeah.
but I've really tried to crack down to the hour because sometimes, unless, it's Drink Champs or whatever the case is, Joe Rogan, you get intimidated by saying, oh fuck, 2.5 hours, I don't got time for this shit. So what do you use something to create shorts?
Yep.
So how do you, is it a subscription thing or is it something that, because listen, I'm in Canada, man.
Yeah.
The money is not good up here. So anything I can do free, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So when it comes to making shorts, is it a free version that you use?
No, I don't think. I think that actually, like Riverside specifically, I think it does actually have a free portion to it. Like I don't remember. I did use it, but I knew that I was going to go over the amount of recording hours that they were saying per week or whatever. So I was like, all right, I'll get it. And it was not. It's not cheap, but it's also not crazy expensive because when I clip it up, like it clips everything up. Like I wish I could show screen and go to the edit of like this episode. It'll break it up into sections and go, this is what you talked about for this part, this is what you talked about, here, and it labels all those. So if you wanted to do like maybe it's 10 minutes you talked about it, okay, you can throw that up there. It's still a short compared to the episode, and you just, when it chops it into all these sections, you just got to think about how you want to do them, and then labeling them. And even then, if you know anything about AI or using AI, you could literally make, like, I guess Opus would be the best one. Like Claude would, if I make an agent to do so, it'll go, okay, this is this subject, this is where it needs to be put. It'll fill it out for you, done. Like that's where we're at. And I haven't done that yet because when I do that,
I'm asking because I was talking about Ariel B, right?
Yeah.
And I talk to him a lot. He calls me from his cell, and we were talking about this whole thing about creating shorts, right? I'm like, shit, man, I don't have the time to do it. And then, so when it comes to putting it into a program where it creates the shorts, my curiosity is, what if it creates shorts based upon things that you don't necessarily want as shorts? Like, how does it determine what is good content for the shorts? Because if you're paying for a subscription and it's creating shorts that you don't necessarily see as valuable, then you're wasting your money.
Agreed.
So what is your solution to that? Because I'm still learning, I'm trying to grow, right?
Yeah.
And that's one thing that is lacking that I've identified for months now is the shorts, because the attention span, right? People want that 30 seconds, 1 minute of just something they could tune into for a quick second and then move on to the next.
Especially because they don't know you yet.
That's something that I'm not producing. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know you yet. So when they don't know you, they're not gonna. You have to have something that's 30 seconds that hits immediately, so that they go, oh shit, that dude's funny, and they're gonna see multiple, because once they like it one time, it starts showing up in their feed immediately, everything that you do, and they're like, oh shit, they really like you. And that's what that's what the shorts do for you, is like it introduces real audience. Because like advertising for a single show, unless it's a huge guest, then it's not going to do much. Like unless they pull numbers, then it's not going to do much.
Because like I've had big guests, Big Twins, Tanity, OGLs, Infamous Sis, and for a YouTube channel that is new, they've done fairly well. But, you know, something I've learned is it doesn't matter about the level of the guest. That's not necessarily going to bring the viewership. So my whole struggle is not necessarily a struggle, because listen, on the block radio I got a 90% retention. So I mean, I'm in the top of the shows on the block radio. And just to spit out a quick fact, you know, they say 50% retention is good.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
So,
retention-wise, that's big.
I'm at 90% retention, so I'm in the top of the top, and I'm fucking severely blessed because of it. I'm humbled because of it, and it, you know, I attribute that to the content and the guests coming on the radio aspect. Now, in terms of the YouTube aspect, when it comes to the shorts, people don't necessarily tune in because of the person. And I'll give you an example. So last year when I started Cigar Talk Toronto, I had Conor McGregor fucking sharing all our shit. So we would have posts that were doing like, you know, minimum 500,000 to 2 million, but that doesn't translate to followers and views,
Yeah.
right? And this is why analytics are important. You gotta go back and you gotta look at it. So how do you, without the AI programs, determine what is a valuable short to create that attention?
Well, it's going to be you'll hear, essentially for me, I think that you hear the times, like I said, like when you say something, and it's normally other people, like I'm not really, I mean, sometimes I can go, yeah, that's the line that'll be the hook. It's always going to be the guest that's typically the hook for me.
Yeah.
Because they're saying something that I find like, it's like, oh shit, this is gonna be, it's an interesting topic, and that's a way into it. If it has a way in, like if there's any type of segue in, it works a million times better, because people they respond. And cutting, like, so there's a girl, what got me, like, because I'm a fan of marketing, like I literally enjoy reading about, listening to, like, just everything about marketing, because it's I just find it really interesting. And one of the things was this girl, she was 17, she got into Harvard by, like, they offered her the scholarship because she was able to make anything go viral. Anything. Like,
Yeah.
anytime. So on any platform. And they're like, how do you do that? Like, how do you guarantee, like, how are you making unicorns? You know, like, they want to know her ways. And she said it was so simple. And, like, hearing her explain it was like, people have short attention spans, right? But being able to extend, like, what she did is she broke down their metrics, like how they judge things, like their weight system. You need to have people that complete the video, like, all the way through, not just like start it and then stop it. You have to have people that they would like, share or save. Like, if they save it, it's worth X amount. Like, everything in the system has weights, and she was gamifying that portion of it. She's like, okay, so she was just experimenting. She said, okay, so if you tell people, like, the crazy part or peak, the hook of the video, if you play that part first and then go to the, so pretty much the summation of that, the craziest statement or the condensing it down, you play that first, and then how did they get there? And that could
Yeah.
30 seconds. That one right there is her method. And then she made sure that any writing on the screen was in this location. It had to have subtitles. Like, she had it down to a science. And it's just because it's the same thing that Mr. Beast did. He did the same exact thing. He said he studied the thumbnail. The thumbnail was his number one thing. He obsessed over it for literally a year of, like, how to get the best thumbnail. And that's what got him the most views. Like he said, well, that and changing every episode into other languages. That's the other thing. Like, if you really want to hit numbers, do that. Like, have AI
Because
do that.
you know, I've experimented with different things, creating shorts, and then you link the short to the actual episode, right? And I don't know if you've really gone through my channel, and you know, no fucking ill will if you haven't watched my shit. You know, there's only so many hours in a day, right?
Yeah, and I
But,
seem to have done exactly that.
You know, but the most successful things I've done, believe it or not, I don't know if you've noticed the digging in the crates that I do, where I essentially open up the humidor and I select the cigar I'm going to smoke. That's the most successful on a regular basis, and I'll give you a stat. So last year, the digging in the crates attributed to 200,000+ views, whereas the content attributed to, let's say, 5,000.
Okay. The drastic difference says that the people want this thing. If you wanted to cater to that analytic specifically, then you would change directions to you try a couple different versions of, okay, so they like digging through the crates. Who is it that likes digging through the crates? What's the demographic? What's the difference in those two?
Because my whole goal is to drive people to watch the episodes on YouTube. Now listen, things changed in March when I went on the blog radio, right? So now my focus is to drive people to the blog, and that's been a success. I still want people to tune in on the YouTube, but it seems like when it comes to the episodes, the viewership since going on the blog radio has dropped a bit.
Yeah.
But they still like the digging in the crates. But the digging in the crates doesn't translate to the episode viewership. So what can I do to drive that viewership to the episodes? Because that's really what I'm trying to highlight is the guests and their story, not fucking what cigar I'm going to smoke tonight.
Well, no, I think that is probably your answer right there, is that, like, so you get one that is a type, you know, that is the thing that they want to see, so you know what the people want to see. Okay, not cater to it, but make that a part of it, even after the edit. Like, say the digging through the crates is, I mean, I'm just thinking complex here, but, like, say you were doing your interview, and the intro of the intro would be you talking about what you're going to be smoking tonight, blah, 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 blah. Then you go into the episode intro, then somewhere in the middle of the show, it would be, you know, the other part where you're actually digging through the crates, doing the thing. Like, if you were to put that inside the episode, like, cut up, and whatever the hook is the hook, but that's the part that's going to get people to watch the entire episode. Promise.
Now you see, that's what people are watching, but now the
your numbers are going to go up no
business
matter what,
side of-
because they're going to go to the actual episodes. That's what matters.
But the thing is, it's not translating to the episodes.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. You take the clips out of the episode. When they click on it, when they click on the link that to go see the episode because of whatever clip you put up, because you're only putting a part of it, they're gonna want to see whatever it is. That's the hook. So if your hook is there, then what you're doing is you're gonna end up with a part of the episode, like the main theme of the episode is the cigars. Like it's Cigar Talk Toronto. So if that's the case, then like that's your name. That's what it is. Like, yes, bring that into the episodes, like heavy hardcore. Like, make that a part. Like, that's the adventure. Like, okay, cool. If you link those, when they click the link and it goes to a certain section of the video, which you're doing that thing, then the actual, like, as long as it's over a minute or over, I think it's 34 seconds, but a minute would be better. If you get over a minute view off of that, because the clip itself is over a minute, then the whole video gets that, and then it's going to start promoting you. You're going to be triggering the algorithm.
So what you're saying is link the digging in the crates to the episodes.
Yes. Link the, like, not just link, like, put it inside the show. Like, whatever the interview is, if the digging in the crates is the thing they want to see, play that part up more, like, into the sense of, because that's the experiment, because it's all an experiment. Nobody can tell you what's right or wrong. I don't fucking know. Like, this is not legal advice. It's just, like, I was just thinking about the, you know, how you would best express it, and if you know that part is bringing in the attention, what makes hot takes something that not only got crazy amount of views and, you know, changed that guy's life, but then they put that shit on fucking Netflix, on Hulu. Like they started actually putting that shit on
Hot
there.
takes. What's hot takes?
Where they take a celebrity and they eat hot wings. They eat. Okay, here's the.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know. Fuck, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, now it's on Netflix. Yeah, you're right.
So like the fact that they took that because it's just a concept. So like if you're doing something, I don't know if you listened to Gary Vee at all, but one of the things he was talking about was if you're gonna do a podcast, everybody's doing podcasts. Everybody, you got podcast teams, you got podcast this. So if you want to promote that thing, it's got to have some type of hook, like some type of underlying theme that you're doing, and that would do it. He goes, if I could canoe while having an interview, and that was the whole fucking thing, I would do it because that's a thing that you're doing while you're doing this thing, and that's why hot takes is popular and so on. Your thing is cigars, so make that part of the whole brand. I mean, make that. I mean, it is the brand. So all right, we'll fucking push. Like that's the.
No. Here's the thing. The unfortunate thing when it comes to Canada. For example, I lit up this chalupa. This is Pravada Cigar Club cigar. Way better than the cigar I was smoking earlier, by the way. But the way I look at it is, as you reach a certain level, there's got to be some stake in promoting a brand, right? So I've taken a step back from the digging in the crates because, in promoting that brand, there wasn't really any working relationship that came from it. So, why should I be promoting your shit if you're not gonna at least share it? You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. That's everything, man. That's artists as well. Artists are the same exact way, bro. Like, if we made a song, like, okay, from the studio aspect, if we made a song here, like, yo, shout out the fucking production studio. We made it here. The beat's mine. Fucking, like, shout it out. Fuck. Like, it's just people. When it's time for credits, people, I don't know, man. People don't want to give them credits out.
People are crazy. I've actually I've only done it one time, but I've actually pulled an episode because the person that was the guest on the episode didn't fucking help promote it.
Good.
And I was like, you know what? Fuck you guys, man. I'm not putting it up.
Dude, fuck them. I mean, really, truly. I mean, it's you're spending your time to do a thing, so make it worthwhile. And especially if you were so my success is based on your success is based on my success because we have the same thing in mind. I'm promoting you, you're promoting me. It's the same fucking goes back and forth. Unless that person, like artists, are not great at promotion. Like they're just good at living life and like they do what they do. I'll say that. Like that's the lesson of marketing that I learned that was most impactful. That it didn't matter if they were a painter, it didn't matter if they were a mechanic or or an artist. Like, it didn't matter. They knew how to do what they knew how to do. Like that's their skill. Their skill set is this. So the marketing side of it, everybody assumes that they're capable of doing that thing, but they're unaware of what this is. Like it's a blind spot for a lot of people.
And we're still on the IG Live, right?
No.
No?
No, we're on.
Because I'm still seeing us on IG Live.
What?
Yeah. And
That's funny as hell.
So the reason I'm saying that is because Queen Jai is still tuned in, and this is definitely a lesson for her because she just started her podcast journey, and you gotta associate. Now listen, the episode I pulled was not artist related. So in my experience, anytime you do something with an artist, they collaborate, they share it, they want the promotion behind it because they want it to be viewed. The episode I pulled was from another podcast type platform, right? So you got to be careful as to who you associate with because now listen, as a platform, right? When I have somebody on Cigar Talk Toronto, it's my job to film it, put it out there and promote it. But you want them to at least acknowledge the fact that it's happening. You know what I mean? And when it comes to artists and producers, they've all fucking been been fucking great to deal with, a blessing. I can't thank them enough. So, to Queen Jai that's tuned in still on IG Live, because we're still there, make sure you know who you're associated with, because you want to associate with people that are going to co-promote your episode, because when it comes to hosting an episode, you're 50% and they're 50%. So it has to be a joint venture to some degree, right? You still have an obligation, but you know, you have to know who is willing to work and promote, because you don't want to end up in a situation where you just essentially wasted your time, you know, an hour plus filming, you know, editing, uploading, to go, man, fuck these guys.
The real deal is like so okay, so for take mine for instance, the main thing for me is not the lives. The lives are us actually just filming it live. Like, it's like, hey, y'all were there for it. It would be what you would normally consider promotional content, because it's y'all got access to it. So as soon as my site goes live, that's exactly how we're gonna run it. It's like live will be on the site, and then fucking we'll end up you know, putting the actual episode out at a later time, giving the exclusivity, seeing it live, so on and so forth. When you actually have people that fuck with you, but like that's soon enough. Once the app is up, once OwnLane is actually up and running, like then I think that everybody will have a platform that they can use that is actually monetarily viable, and it'll give you all the analytics that you need. It will. I mean, I've been working on it. I had to actually do. My cousin was the CTO, and he was actually designing. You know, he was doing the actual work on it. And after 1.7 million lines of fucking code, he took his ball and he went home. He was like, "Fuck you, you know what? Fuck it." And it was a battle of egos on that one, like some ignorance, stubbornness on my part, and you know, just ego on the other side. So I had to restart completely from scratch. About 2 months ago, and I was like, "All right, well, I don't know how to code. That is true." so I had to hire a developer, and we're working on it right now. And that shit is OwnLane is the way that we're going to be able to monetize what it is that we do, whether it's music, whether it's movies or podcasts. Like, independence is the only way. So you have to have the tools and the knowledge. So what I'm doing is I'm setting it up to where all of my experience being in this shit for like 20 fucking years, I'm like, yo, here's all the tools you could possibly need, all the things that's going to help you along, and it tells you what to do. Not only that, but it hooks you up with the people. Like, it's your own community, you own all that. You got access to merch without having to pay for it by drop shipping, but you're doing it through our manufacturers. You ain't even got to set up a store. Like, I thought of every possible thing that I needed when I was doing, when I was coming up and doing music and trying to fucking make money doing it, like making my living. Like, we got a place to as the network develops, having venues in there, and having, our own booking, so that we can go ahead and just, if you see somebody that's here and they're on the site, then you can see the other people. So you can plan a tour because you're in the same genre, or you can just go, hey, I want to go to fucking South Carolina because I hear that I see that we got the same demographics. You're doing fucking live shows. You already know the venue. Cool. Giving every tool possible for them to be successful, to get people further, faster. It's just all the things that I wanted, and it's the same thing for podcasts. Since I have a movie, that we've been working on, like that's gonna be coming out at the same time. And it's like, that's the where do you put, if you make movies, where the fuck do you put them out at as an independent filmmaker?
Yeah.
Like, there's not, like, you can go ahead and you can try and sell it to, like, especially lower budget fucking movies. It's like you're gonna be able to put it out in Tubi. Tubi was one for a while, but they don't.
Yeah.
They barely pay shit, and it's just like any other streaming. They try and fuck you in every way. So what I'm saying by saying all that is that, like, having the tools, the knowledge, and the experience, like, right there, and without, it doesn't cost shit. Like, for the base plan for a artist or a creator is like $1. That's all I'm charging. $1. And I was gonna make it free, but the problem with that was like, if you're not willing to put a fucking dollar in on your name, then like I'm not gonna help you. I'm sorry. Like, you gotta put $1 down.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like that's literally what it comes down to, because it doesn't pay for the operating cost to actually do the things. Like so that comes from all the other aspects, and we give 90% of the advertisement, between 80 and 90 depending. It is a sliding scale, but it's between 80 and 90% of the advertising to the creator, whoever it is. Like the advertising, we give them access to the merch, we give them access to the ability to have your own ticket system on there. Like if you want to sell tickets to a show, you can do it through the site. Like all these things that we get 10%, 10 to 20%, and they get the rest. And that's not a deal that you can get anywhere else in the world for podcasts or fucking movies or anything else. So we're building that. We're building a fucking, that's how you do it, is you build a fucking, if you build it, they will come. That's what I'm going with.
Facts, man. And you know what? On that note, I'm too many glasses in already, and
I
I'm
didn't
sweating
know
my
it was
ass
live.
off over here.
I didn't know it was live.
I got the whiskey sweats going on over here, and you know, I'm about to cut out, man, 'cause I'm gonna go have an organic meal.
Yo, go eat that good food. That good. Until the next time, because I didn't know we was live. I thought it already stopped. So, until next time, we outie. I appreciate your time, sir. Go enjoy. See
Yeah,
y'all
man.
next time.
Send me whatever you need to. You want me to put up and promote for this episode, and we'll get it done. Or, man, let's do it again.
Literally. Till the next one.
All right, man.
Peace.